Yo, what's good, chat? Here we are again. You got any preseason things to get off before we get started? Have you watched some of the games? Did you watch the Lakers game? Because I assume you watched the chat and
I watched parts of it. I stopped watching when the Lakers were up like 16, and then I know the Nets came back for a while, but I didn't watch any of that. I seen clips of Cam Thomas and Austin Reeves going back and forth with some threes. That was nice.
Mhm.
But overall, I watched like parts of the first half and a bit of the third quarter. That's it.
Okay. Lakers game was good. I actually like the way they looked, especially when they play with their main guys. I think not gonna lie, bro, that crew gonna be causing some issues. That crew's gonna be probably the 1 or 2 seed. I'm not even gonna
Maybe
hold you.
if they're healthy, I can see it. I don't know. I
Especially if
liked Ben Simmons. That's what I liked. Ben Simmons was aggressive. That was good to see. He looked at the rim many times. That was progress. He looks
mm,
healthy. He looks good. I like what I'm seeing from
we
Ben
have
Simmons.
we having the Ben Simmons revenge tour.
We can call it that. I believed in the comeback season. I still think there's going to be a comeback season because I don't think he just forgot how to play basketball. I think he was injured. So that's good to see. Mikal Bridges still not moving me, but it is what it is. Nicholas Claxton still an elite defender, moving me. But I still need the Brooklyn Nets to be the worst team in the league, so I'm praying on their downfall.
Why do you need them to be for Houston?
Yep.
Mm.
So I hope they win 0 games.
But don't you think that's too much when you have too much collections of talent all on one team, especially young talent on the Houston Rockets?
Yeah, I'll live with that bad problem. I'll live with it.
You live with it.
Yeah, I'll live with us having too many good young players. I know it's a tough bullet to take, but I'll take the bullet. I'll take the sacrifice of having too many good young players.
Nah, because then you have guys that had to solidify their roles and everything.
Well, if we get Ron Holland, that's another wing.
Hmm.
Dylan Brooks get packed up. We still got Jabari playing the 4, Sengun at the 5, Jalen Green at the 2, and then Thompson at the 1. They seem to be in different positions, which is a good thing. It's not like we got a bunch of two guards or a bunch of threes. I guess you could say Tyrese and Cam Whitmore get kind of pushed to the back, but I think
Hmm.
Tyrese's a backup 4 and Cam Whitmore's a backup 3. And I just think it's just adding depth, and every team wants depth. And I think there's enough minutes to go around. But with Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet there, they're kind of messing things up. But
I think you need some vets with a team as well. I don't think
you got
just
Uncle
bringing,
Jeff.
but bring it in. No, not Uncle Jeff. Just bringing in nothing but younger guys, bro. I think that's not really a recipe for like crazy success. I think it's good to have a firm foundation of what you're looking for from people, because young guys have their own states of minds, their own mindset about what who they want to be as a player, while guys who have been in the league for a little bit, they got an understanding of who they are at the time. So it's more of a willingness to buy in. But you just gotta be outside to really understand how people think. But it's okay.
I feel like you're discrediting Uncle Jeff, but it's fine.
It's,
Yeah.
it's good, guys.
What's
Yo,
up?
salute
Guys,
everybody.
what's up, guys?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How y'all feeling? Y'all been watching the preseason?
Yeah. Yo, Dub, I just
Some
got
of
to
the
say
games.
this. FYF was wrong. For the last 4 years, your team has proven to be in the fight. So, regardless of where you guys play, you guys just need an opportunity. You guys have already
Here and
proven
there.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was also going to say, Mars, I
Mm-hmm.
got to say, I was wrong, and I owe you an apology.
Mm.
I spoke to another Knicks fan, and I'm not saying because of the Knicks fan, he made me change my mind. But he showed me some highlights. He showed me some clips about your boy, Jalen Green. And I gotta say, I think he's gonna be an all-star this year. But I'm not jumping on the bandwagon.
Wow.
I'm not jumping on the
Wow.
bandwagon. No, 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 no. This is my way of giving
That's
you credit for seeing
crazy.
something I haven't seen. So keep on, keep on. Mars, you are still to me, freaking Marvin the Martian. Hello, Earthlings. That's you. You're always gonna be that. So keep doing what you're doing. Salute.
At least you know I was right. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, look,
Mars
I
is
hate to
It,
say
it,
not.
it.
it, it,
See,
ta- it
that's why I
takes
didn't
it
want to
takes
say it.
someone who's secure in themselves to admit when someone else is right.
But see, that's why I
I
didn't want to
respect
say it, because even though you said thank you for acknowledging it, it's like an uppercut from Tyson. I hate when you do that.
I still appreciate
He's
you
not. He's
admitting.
not humble.
Exact thank you, like Dub. When we were talking about the playoffs last year, and I was sitting there being humble with you, you was like, "It's all right, bro. If we don't win it don't matter to me. Like you stood straight. Mars will stomp on that heart and be like, yeah, I need more.
People think I'm the bad guy. And I'm
No.
like, I don't know
You are the
how.
bad guy too, dog. It's like
How am I the
that.
bad guy?
It's like evil versus. It's like evil versus fucking Thor or some shit like that. It's like evil versus worse. Better yet, y'all both the same type of breed, but y'all know y'all facts. Nobody can argue with y'all. But I think the Knicks is gonna surprise a lot of people, man. The way Brunson is, if Brunson plays the way he was with Mitch, even though it was Boston's, third team or whatever, I think that our two All-Stars would be Brunson, and if quickly stays consistent, because he was second man nominee last year for sixth man of the year. He stays consistent. I think that we got a chance of those two being our All-Stars.
Yeah, I've been eyeing quickly for a while now. Pause.
Yeah, he's playing for a contract.
Yeah, bro, he gonna be. I like him a lot. I think he has a lot of potential. He just needs to just tune some things up a bit more. But I actually like Quickly a lot. But I only like Jalen Brunson and Quickly, and that's it. Everyone else,
that's what I'm saying is gonna be our All-Star.
Josh Hart too.
Nah, they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think
Quickly,
they don't respect Hart.
Bro, there have to be like 5 guards that have to get hurt in order for Quickly to make All-Star. Even have a chance to make All-Star.
Are you? We'll see.
Depends on if they're a high enough seed. Maybe if they're a top 3-4 seed, then there's a chance.
There's no chance. There's not a single chance Quickly will make All-Star this year.
Would he be over Hero? I highly doubt he'll be over Hero.
He'll make an all defensive team though.
Man, I don't even know. Because this is the first year they doing positionless, so we're gonna see how they evaluate.
He's an all defensive caliber guard. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Right. Cool. Hey, y'all niggas been watching AD? Oh my god!
You mean that nigga that keep falling?
The best player on the Lakers. Yes, I've been watching the best player on the Lakers.
Facts. No argument.
The best player on the Lakers. Yes.
Real talk. Your boy Tatum. I'm not gonna say nothing positive because I hate Boston, but salute to your guy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, I saw Jason Tatum do 4 post-ups in a row. I shed a tear. I was like, oh my god.
He added that to his game.
This nigga's posting up.
Preseason glazing got this finest.
He always had that in his game. He just chooses not to do it.
But if he does it more, man, I'm gonna be on some damn Tatum, bro.
I will be on some Boston agendas for sure. If he does that more, hey, real talk, he'll get my respect.
He should already have it because he's been running your conference.
No, he hasn't. He just lost.
Define running. Like
how is he running the conference?
Yeah, how you running the conference?
He was just in a game 7 with Miami Heat being hurt. He actually lost the game that Jimmy Butler got hurt in. We're talking about running the conference.
I keep running the conference when like you was never. I keep running the conference. You were never the best player in your conference. Your team only got a conference one time. Yeah, you got to run that Bobby. How you run the conference? So
rookie year, Final Four only loses to LeBron, right? I mean, he's bare minimum in the Eastern Conference Finals like every year, man. I don't know.
So that's one of your conference coming in fourth, coming in third and fourth every year. That's one of your conference, hey man.
But I hate to say
coming in first or second in your conference, yeah.
No. I'm saying my fault. Coming in second in your conference majority of the time. Yeah, that's one of your conference.
If you're first or second every damn year, yeah, you running shit.
Nah.
6 years.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I mean, past 6 years.
Second, you ain't running shit. Second, you're running behind first. That's what that means.
Yeah, you ain't running it unless you keep going to the finals. You only went to the finals once. Actually, Miami's been running the conference more than him.
You can say Miami. You can say the Bucks. You can say teams that actually got like out the finals.
The Bucks had 1 year. No, sir. Bucks had 1 year. You can argue Miami.
Yeah, they actually won. No, they actually won. That's the difference. They actually won. They didn't get there, fall on their face historically, and then say, "Oh, we're running the conference."
You're being dense on purpose. Yo, nigga had 1 year.
I'm saying
for a period of time, he just got back to the first round.
For a period of time. Yeah, for all of Jason Tatum's career, the Celtics have been second place. They've been first to lose. I agree.
But yo,
Hey.
that's wait, hold on. I don't
So he
agree with
never went to the finals. So now we're just lying. Okay, that's cool.
No, I literally said he went to the finals one time.
But that
And
would make
to
him
you,
first
if
in
that's
his conference.
no,
That would make
no,
him
if that's
first in
if
his
that if
conference.
that's
exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay,
And the
so
first
what
to
I'm saying,
lose
is running the
Regular season,
conference.
you're talking postseason.
Hey man,
and the first
hey
to
man,
lose, the first
hey
to
man.
lose thing is not applicable
Yeah.
to basketball. It's more applicable to
Yo,
racing.
if you
and
run your
NASCAR, not
conference, that
not
means you were the
basketball.
number 2 team, which means you only lost to one other
No,
team that was better than you, which means you
we just
still
agree to
are the
disagree.
top team. What are you
Y'all
talking
think
about?
second place runs the conference. We just agree to disagree. That's it.
Well, they're first place in the conference if they're making it to the finals.
Yeah, that's the point. The fact that Celtics only made it out of there one time dictates his whole career. How are you running the conference? You made it there one time and lost.
Oh, that's a fact. True.
I don't know.
That is
I mean,
true.
but
I
in
don't know.
comparison, who else are we talking? I mean,
I
the
don't know.
Bucks. Yeah, they've had that 1 year, and
Only
Miami
And
for the
won.
last 4
Miami
years.
4
And
years.
won.
The last 4
Yeah,
years.
they won, but I mean,
Miami.
the other years you look at it, they lost in the first round last year, lost in the second round the year before that, finals, and then the 2 years they didn't even get to the finals. So can you
With
really
all
say
that
they
being
run it?
said, with all that being said, they still achieve a higher level of success than the Celtics.
Miami really runs that conference, if we're being honest.
You can say Miami. I would
Well,
say a few teams before the Celtics. They got hurt.
If you factor in like actually winning in the 82 games as well, then no. That I'm saying Boston and Jason Tatum
what are you
has been
talking
a
about
top.
factoring in?
Boston
Who
and
goes to the
Jason
finals?
Tatum has been
Who
a top
goes
of the
to the
Eastern
finals?
Conference,
Who
going to the
goes to the
conference
finals?
championship
It doesn't
every
matter.
year.
It doesn't matter what the
Every
And
year
record
doing
they've
is.
what?
been a top
It
of the
doesn't
conference.
matter
They've been
what
a
the
top
record is.
seed, and they go
It
to the
doesn't
conference
matter what
finals.
the record
Miami
is.
be a
Real talk.
goddamn 7-8 seed.
And still
Come
y'all
on,
lose
man.
to that 7-8 seed.
It doesn't matter
What
it doesn't matter what the record is. Who makes it to the finals? Real talk. Who
Okay,
has
we'll
made it
see this year,
to the
buddy.
finals more?
We'll see what y'all do this year, buddy.
We'll see.
Yo, I
We'll see
don't
what happens
understand
this
why
year.
y'all guys are hating on Miami. I don't like Miami for a specific reason, but you guys are just hating just to hate. The last 4 years, they
No
have
one
been
hating on
the most
Miami.
productive team out of the East. And that's coming from a Knicks fan who hates Miami. And the same thing with Boston. Boston, Miami have been the 2 top dogs in the East the last 4
Miami's a
years.
good team. They're solid football. They're
How
solid
is the most
basketball. Gotta give
productive
credit to them,
team
man.
at the East not the one that's actually
Give them credit for
won a
last year,
championship?
even though they were in
I
the
didn't
AFC
hear you. What
last
did you
year.
say, Mars?
How is the most productive team at the East the only one that's actually won a championship in the last 3 or 4 years?
Wait,
That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Miami make it there twice, but lose both times. Boston make it once and lose, but they're in the conference finals a few times. But the Bucks actually make it and
Well,
win.
no, Mara, think about
It's
the
because
Celtics have been
they
to
only-
the 4
because they only
times in the
won
past
once.
6 years. So
And then we go off real talk logic. Let's not pretend the Bucks was in top 2 seed in their conference during that entire run too. So hey man, I don't know.
I'm just saying, out of the last 4 years, Miami has been the team to make it to the finals, and they've been productive in my eyes because they made it to where every other team wants to go, which is the finals. So yeah, they didn't win the championship, but that's production. Moving forward is always to get to that road. Not
And going forward, there's been a few teams that's better than them. That's why no one, not even diehard Heat fans, have them getting back to the finals until media shit change. To be honest with you, like that's what it is.
Yeah, a team could have a one-off.
Beats Miami and the Bucks again.
To answer Mars' question, the team could have a one-off and win the chip, but if another team is making it more than them and making it further, that team is running shit. If we're just going to be honest, they just had a year that
we just agree to disagree.
They just had a year where they beat the West. Doesn't just because they beat the West doesn't necessarily mean they run the East. They just beat the West at one time, like Brooklyn Nets. Like the Brooklyn Nets.
With Jason Kidd when they were
with
running
Jason
the East.
Kidd, yeah.
Exactly.
They were running the East.
Nobody.
They were running the East, even though they weren't winning.
Yeah, and they were
getting because no one in the East was actually winning. That's
the Pistons. The Pistons won right after.
But yo, Mars,
yeah, and then the Pistons
you actually say that. Yeah, the Pistons started running the East. They won the chip. They've been to the conference finals like 5 straight years. They can say that. They've been to the finals twice. They can say that.
But they weren't.
Right. They didn't win the chip and then start getting bounced in the first round, second round. And then the years prior to them winning the chip was getting bounced in the first round, second round.
Yeah, if only Boston can do that. If only Boston can win, at least win. At least win, my nigga. Damn.
The Bucks have been to the conference finals twice, been to the finals once, and won a ring. I mean,
I don't know what we're talking about.
They made it to the finals once. Miami's been to the conference
that.
finals 3 times.
They've been bounced out in the
And
first
lost
round
every
as many
time.
times as they've made the conference finals.
Miami's been to the conference finals one more time, been to the finals one more time, and has one less ring.
Yeah,
And
but
Boston, Miami, and the Bucks
if-
all lost in the
if
first
you're
round
if
last
you're
4
talking
years.
about- if you're talking about running the East, what they did against the West doesn't mean much.
Okay, so
Exactly. We're talking about running the conference. Thank you, Doug. That's such a great point. Them winning the finals is actually irrelevant. I'm talking about running the conference.
So no matter how we try and twist this, Boston aren't running the East.
Boston is
No, not
not
at all.
East at all.
Not at all.
It's
Not at
either
all.
Miami or Milwaukee, however you want to.
Yeah, it's one of those
Miami or
two.
Milwaukee, yes.
Fine. Cool, okay.
How the hell Boston running the East, my nigga? Niggas had the least amount of success out of the three.
Real talk disagree with. Real talk, you funny as hell. Let me read off some of these super chats. Miami's still playing at max from 8 Gates lead. Did you guys see the NBA GM survey?
No.
Yeah, Dub. It's typical GM shit. Nasty. I only seen a couple. They ranked like the top 5 people at their position. They went the top best defenders. So far, I only seen the defenders in the position list.
Mm-hmm.
They still think 40%.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, 40% of the GMs think Giannis is the best defender, and so far these are the lists. And Luka somehow top 3 shooting guard, point guard, and small forward according to the GMs.
Small forward.
They did which team will
sense.
win the ring? They did which team will win the championship? Boston and Denver tied with a third of the votes. Milwaukee was third with 23%.
Phoenix is 7. That's crazy.
They also I don't care about Western Conference. Who will win the MVP? Jokic got 43%. Giannis got 20. Jason Tatum was in third with 13. If you were starting a franchise, who would you pick? Jokic got 33%. Wemby was second with 23%.
Wow.
And Giannis was third. And Luka was fourth. Anthony Edwards was in fifth.
Nice.
Which player forces opposing coaches to make the most adjustments? Any guesses of who was first?
Jokic.
You want to share the
Joker.
screen? I have the
Steph.
screen right here. You want to share it, Mark?
Joker.
Steph.
Oh, well, you can share it if you want. Steph came first. Jokic was second. Giannis
Yeah.
was third.
Okay.
Learn basketball, Sturdy. Jesus Christ.
Steph went
Hey, real talk. I'm just hopefully if I do learn enough basketball, I can be a winner just like Jay Tatum. Oh wait,
Where you at?
Wow.
I'm at which player is most likely to have a breakout season?
I think
So keep going
freaking.
down right there.
Oh, did you say this one? The Stephen Curry one?
Yeah, the adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So breakout season, they had Anthony Edwards at number 1.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Franz Paolo, Tyrese Maxey fill out the top 5.
With Jalen
That's the
Green.
best list they got.
Let's make sense.
That's the
of
best
it.
list they got.
They hate, and it's cool.
No
They
Green?
hate. Let them hate.
Nah, that ain't cool.
Best point guard in the NBA, Steph and Luka ran away with it. And then best shooting guard, it was Devin Booker, but Steph Curry was second. So
And Luka's third somehow.
So they don't even consider Steph a point guard, some of them. Best small forward is Jason Tatum with KD. Luka's got on the point guard.
Jason Tatum. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, he did win something.
Hey.
He won something.
I'm
something.
just
My bad,
saying.
real talk. My ball. He won
He's
something.
only
Real
the
talk.
best at his position, you know.
I just find it interesting that Luka's got votes on every single position.
Exactly. Even in the look at that.
That's crazy.
Holy moly, 97%.
That's a small forward position.
And then Giannis ran away with the power forward.
No
The
one fact that
considered
Jokic
Anthony Davis.
has 93% is actually like surprising to me because of Joel.
It went from 79 to 93 in 1 year, so Joel lost some faith.
That's
crazy. Which team made the best overall moves in the offseason? Boston and Milwaukee tied, understandably. Which player acquisition will make the most impact? Dame. The most underrated is Marcus Smart. The most improved team this year, OKC won, but I know we see who's number 2. I know we see.
Shout out to you, mate.
Just saying. I know you see it. The most surprising move of the offseason was the Holiday and Lillard trade. Rookie of the year, Wemby has 50%, Scoot has 27%, Chet has 20%. Someone picked the EuroLeague player from Sacramento with 3% of the votes, so there's that.
Okay.
Which rookie will be the best player in 5
Why is
years?
Leonard a surprise though? Everybody knew Leonard was going to get traded. How's that a surprise?
I think that's more of a surprise which team he went
to the
to.
Bucks because he went to the
Yeah,
Bucks.
that's a surprise.
Yeah, that's more surprising.
Cam over Scoot?
But him getting traded, no.
They got Cam in school.
They got Wemby as the best player in 5 years from the draft class. The Cam Whitmore is the biggest steal of the draft. Nice, facts.
Because he went low as hell. That's why
he went 20. Yeah, he went 20.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Best international player in the NBA. Jokic got 80%. Luka got 10%. Giannis got 7%. Which
80%. Oh my.
Which means that in total, the GMs think Luka's better than Giannis in a.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Which is
they even had him on the small forward stack. How you got
bro? The Luka glaze is insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
They just know better.
Hey man, he just better than Tatum.
This is the worst one. This is the worst one. The best defensive player in the NBA, Giannis came first.
That what? Hey, bro. AD, bro. They got AD in the also receiving.
AD ridiculous,
bro. They got AD in the also receiving votes. AD's in the also receiving votes part.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Kawhi got more votes than AD, the fact that Kawhi got more votes than AD, that's crazy.
Fourth is insane. Kawhi coming in fourth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They mentioned Lou Dort.
The defensive player
You
last
see
year.
it?
Who won it last year?
You
They
see
got
it?
him on the same level as the same player who won it last year. Come on, man. That's the
They mentioned Lou Dort.
Giannis, Jesus.
Bro, they mentioned Lou Dort over Bam.
What?
No,
I didn't even believe that.
Most versatile defender in the NBA. Giannis won it again.
What?
I think
Wait. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Who is the most versatile defender? Wow.
Yeah, they voted Giannis again. I don't know what's happening.
They don't watch basketball.
Hey man, the GMs, man. GMs don't watch basketball apparently.
Is Jaren Jackson better than Rudy Gobert? I don't think so.
Nah.
Like interior
As a player?
Interior,
I take
Nah, interior no. Interior no.
Oh no.
Interior no.
No, he's not.
No.
I didn't even see that. I brushed past that one because I saw Giannis miss.
The Anthony Davis disrespect is defensively is crazy.
Who's the best defensive team?
Oh shit, Miami got something.
Eric Spoelstra, best coach, valid. Tyronn Lue being second is criminal, but whatever.
Tyronn Lue is insane.
Yo, they got Boston as his best defensive team.
Best manager and motivator of people having Steve Kerr number 2.
Let's go. We got Eric Spoelstra here, bro. I like it.
Best in game adjustments. Eric Spoelstra 43% valid.
Tyronn Lue second.
Wow.
Tyronn Lue does nothing except take Zubats out the game. That's what he does.
Exactly.
Oh, whatever. Cool, fine.
They glaze in the small
Which
ball.
head coach runs the best offense? And Mike Brown has won. Interesting, but
No. What he did with Sacramento last year.
Game doesn't work for the finals.
It's just interesting. The fact that Nick Nurse received votes is also crazy, but I guess. Best defensive schemes: Eric Spoelstra, valid 1,000%.
Nice.
That makes shout out to Taylor Jenkins, underrated defensive.
This is actually this one's actually not a bad list that they have here. Not bad.
Best defensive schemes, yeah, that's valid. I'd probably have Frank Vogel higher than JB Bickerstaff. It's the same percentage, so it doesn't make
Hey, look at Ime. Look at Ime.
Yeah, which new coach will have the biggest impact? Ime.
Ime, who's
Ime and Monty, yeah.
Best assistant coach, they got Jordi Fernandez in Sacramento.
Underrated.
It should be good to see that Stephen Silas didn't make the list. Now that
it should be Udonis Haslem. Lloyd Lamont was talking about him.
That's what I was going to ask you. You don't think that he could come back as a coach? Udonis Haslem come back on the coach?
It's not the same vibe. It's not the same vibe.
I think he should.
Which active player will make the best head coach? Chris Paul won. Fred VanVleet got 7% of votes. Interesting.
No, UD.
That is interesting. I don't know him.
TJ McConnell and Garrett.
Why they say Garrett Temple?
Garrett Temple, I think, is because he's head of the Players Association.
I think Chris Paul.
He's one of the heads. He's one of the heads of the Players Association.
I think Chris Paul will be a phenomenal head coach.
Team most fun to watch. Denver won. Best home court advantage, Denver. That makes sense with all the altitude. Yep. That makes sense. Which team will have the league's most efficient offense? Denver, Kings, Warriors. Makes sense.
No Suns. Suns at fifth. That's crazy.
Warriors. The Suns is probably gonna have a better offense than Warriors.
Yeah, they probably will. Which team's level of success is toughest to predict? Philly and Dallas. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Most promising young core. Houston not being in the top 3.
What are you talking about, Willie? Oh shit!
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why is Cleveland? Is Donovan Mitchell still considered a young?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know the parameters.
I don't know how we aren't in the top 3, but it's fine.
D-Mitch is 27 though.
Ja Morant being the most athletic is questionable as well. But Jalen Green, let's go.
Let's go.
Best pure shooter, only 90% of
Steph.
people voted for Steph. That's incorrect.
Okay, that's
That's your boy.
The
Go ahead,
10%
yeah.
were just trying to be different. It's cool.
Luke Kennard got votes.
Yeah,
What
some
the hell?
people just trying to be different. Some people just trying to be different. It's cool.
Mars, give me 1 second. I gotta send this.
Oh damn. Okay. Well. I'm just gonna wait.
I think De'Aaron Fox is
go
an
ahead.
improvement off of coaching. What
you
Brown did, I think
I'm
he
a
did a
player
good job.
that's the fastest with the ball, which is De'Aaron Fox, which I think most people would agree
True.
with.
Facts. Nothing but facts.
Kyrie receiving votes is interesting, but
Nah, I think Kyrie's fast when
The
he's
Kings
like,
need to improve.
Kyrie
Yeah,
is pretty fast in a straight line, but he's not as
Jaden
fast as
Ivey's
he
a good
used to
pick.
be.
Jaden
So I
Ivey's
don't know.
which plays the best moving without the ball? Steph got 73%. Mikal Bridges got 13.
Mikal second. That's interesting.
Very
Mikal
interesting
second
that
is
Steph
interesting.
didn't receive like 100% of the votes again. But best passer, Jokic, Luka, and LeBron. I think that's pretty
Okay, makes sense.
best leader, LeBron, Steph, Jokic, Jimmy, Dame, Chris Paul.
Dang, I don't agree with that. Because if he was a leader, he would have done more in Portland.
What does that have to do with bingo?
What the fuck?
Giannis also the most versatile player in the NBA, in case you didn't know.
What?
So,
Wow.
Yeah, he's also the most versatile player.
Hey, he didn't
Giannis,
get to a count
that's
five
crazy.
spots, so give Dame some credit.
Hey, man.
Jokic has better basketball IQ than LeBron James and Chris Paul.
Wow.
Wait, go to
But
the.
he
You
ain't
said
got
what
a
about
post
IQ?
game, he ain't got nothing. He
Jokic
got
has the
one
highest IQ in the league. Jokic has the highest IQ in the league.
That's not true.
But he ain't got no
Wow.
post game. He ain't
Well,
got
I'm not
nothing.
gonna lie though. I'm not
It's
gonna
up
lie.
there, but it's
Mars,
He's in the
Mars.
conversation.
Wait.
He's in the conversation.
I'm not gonna
Nah.
lie. Wait. We
What
gotta
do you
think
think
about
about
this.
IQ?
We have to think
No,
about this, right?
His IQ ain't there.
When you
Defensively, his IQ ain't there. His IQ ain't there.
What?
Offensively. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Take it.
If we really think about it and like really put this into perspective, even on defense, he knows he's not athletically capable. So he makes up for that by rotating and kicking his legs out to catch the ball, make sure the ball don't pass him and get those kickball violations, right? Very active
Exactly.
hands.
That's not smart IQ. IQ
that
would be
is
using
smart
your
IQ.
hand.
What?
Let me finish.
That's
Use your
definitely
hand
IQ.
to take the
That's
ball.
It's definitely
That's
IQ,
a-
but they need to change the rules.
They need to change the rules.
that
Yes,
needs to result in
Yeah,
free
yeah.
throws or
There we go.
something.
Just
It-
take
Yeah,
it's
it
not
has to
you
be. It has to go down as
use
a
your
technical or
hand
something because that's
to get
ridiculous.
turnovers.
And-
That's a smarter IQ. That's what I'm talking about. If he used his hands the way he kicked the ball
Technical.
and gets the
Technical.
steal,
Just
or
it should be a
he
turnover.
it out.
He can't.
Should be a
He's not
turnover.
athletically capable.
But then that doesn't mean okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then on offense, I keep telling this is one thing he does that I still just don't understand how he does this. The way he's able to do those touch passes off of a pick and roll is fucking crazy. That's
That shit's
wild.
fire.
And he hits people in stride too. Not no like, oh, they just in the corner. Sometimes he's hitting the motherfucker when he's leading them to where they need to be. That's
Yeah.
wild. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad at him for having the highest IQ because that is ridiculous the way he can manipulate it like that.
With the
I would still give it to LeBron just
I
based
don't
off
know.
experience, but Joker's definitely a conversation.
To think that anybody in the league has a higher IQ than like LeBron and CP3 right now is I don't
LeBron
know.
doesn't have the highest
I
IQ.
just don't
Stop
think
that.
you can lose IQ. So if you think,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
so if
as
you
long
think
as they've
Jokic
been
has
in the
highest
game,
IQ,
right.
that means you think he's just a smart basketball player than LeBron. If you think that,
I don't
Kudos
think
to
that
you,
I don't
yeah.
think that's ridiculous.
that's fine. That's fine.
LeBron
That's
does not
not-
have the
I
highest
just
IQ.
disagree.
Okay.
You just
I think
disagree.
IQ,
I
but
think
don't think he's
LeBron.
number
I
one.
think LeBron's IQ is amazing, but it's attention on like LeBron's understanding of himself. I think Jokic understands himself and the people around him better than LeBron.
We agree to disagree, Doug.
I think
He
Chris
doesn't
Paul
have the
might
highest IQ. Jesus
in the league.
Christ.
I still
That's
think
just-
Chris Paul got high IQ.
LeBron knows how
Yeah,
to.
I think it might be Chris Paul. Bro.
LeBron knows how to get people. LeBron knows how to get people the ball off of his drive and kick action and tell them to cut. That's fine.
Have
But
you
can
heard
he-
the Amari
It's
Sharma
not.
story?
I'm not gonna lie, Doug.
Yeah,
There's a little bit more
that's
than
the
that.
only
Yes,
thing.
and he's
It's a little bit-
directing.
it's more than
And
that.
he's-
It's
he'll
more
do
than
the
that.
directive.
Let me know when Jokic has stories like that. Let me know.
They're coming. They're coming. You seen the Larry Nance story?
Nah, that was he was just dominating the game. It's not
Shut
the same as Amari
up.
Sharma stories.
Don't worry. It's
And
gonna
the
happen.
and the
It's
last
gonna
most
be the highest
important
IQ.
one
Get
is
the hell out of here.
which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Who do you guys think?
Fox, Mr.
I got-
Fox.
Steph.
Hold on, Fox didn't
I
win.
got Fox. He was Mr. Clutch last year. I'm going with what he was known for that. So I want De'Aaron Fox.
Who's the clutchest player? That's the question.
Which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line?
Oh, my fault.
They'll most likely they'll say Luka. My final guess is Luka. They'll say Luka.
Steph.
Yeah, I think it's probably Steph.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Steph 1. It was
Steph or
Steph 1,
KD?
KD 2, Dame 3. That was the
Yeah, I'm gonna
KD.
take Steph.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
KD. Nah, I don't even like KD, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's the fact that KD can catch the ball high and he releases it high. He has an advantage to actually shoot over people.
When the last
I
time
don't
KD
like
made a clutch
KD.
basket?
That's a skill.
Remember
That's a
Game
skill.
7? That toe on the line. Remember that?
Oh my God!
Here we go.
If I
That
hear
was
about that
close.
Buck
That was
series
close.
one more time for KD, I'm gonna lose my.
When's the
I
last time?
gotta
When's the
rotate
last
some
time
guests,
Steph?
man.
When's the
Y'all
last time
be
Steph
easy.
Curry made a game winner in the playoffs? Oh,
He didn't
never.
do a game one. He didn't do a game
But he
one.
didn't. That hold on.
Interesting.
That
He didn't do
game
it
4
against the
against Boston,
Kings.
even though it was a game winner, but like the fact that he put him away with more
Oh,
than
look
5,
at
that's
us
not
moving the
considered.
goalposts. He ain't hitting no game winners.
No, there was no game winner. But like, what you call a shot when like you put the game
at
away?
0 for 9 in the last 24 seconds to take the lead or tie the game.
No. Like Mars, those are actually like. Do you consider the shot that put the game away as equal as the shot of the game winner?
I consider that.
Dude got better beard than me. Fuck you.
I consider that front runner.
Wow, that is so petty, bro.
Nigga dumb shiesty.
I seen it, and if you see go back, I went back and squinted. I'm like, oh nah, he gotta go. Like, he gotta go. That's crazy. But
Oh,
what's good,
Jalen's
fam?
here. Oh no.
But we heard the LeBron slant.
Jalen here to talk about
IQ is
why
crazy.
LeBron has the highest IQ,
Of
why
all
he should be
time?
the one to take a shot with the game on the
Facts.
line, why
Facts.
he's really the best player. Like well,
I'm saying
We
highest
don't-
IQ
we
of
don't
all
get it.
time.
Wait, so
See,
is it
that
ridiculous?
be
Wait,
glazed. See?
Jalen, how does he have the highest IQ of all time if he's committed the most turnovers of all time?
Obviously turnovers, the kind of the totality of turnovers all time is obviously a product of him playing for a long time. It's
You
him
using the
having.
wrong word doesn't change.
Yeah,
the
no,
fact
I'm
that
just
he's-
saying. I'm just saying. So that statistic is contingent on him playing a long time, having the playmaking.
Oh, but you
duties
care
that he-
about the all-time scoring record. Interesting.
Of course, no, but that's also contingent on him playing a long time. Without a doubt, we're not taking that. We're taking that into consideration, right? So that's fact. Him having the playmaking duties that he's had to carry throughout his career over 20 years. So obviously, I think any great playmaker, or if you look at that list, some of the all-time greatest playmakers are on that list for having the most turnovers of all time. Correct?
John Stockton has high.
I think number 32
that's
in
crazy.
Utah Jazz is second.
Yeah, it's 32 from Utah. Russ number 3, Stockton number 4, Kobe number 5, Kidd number 6, Moses number 7,
Yep.
Harden number 8, and Zeke number 9, and Hakeem number 10.
I didn't hear a certain Chris Paul's name.
Very true. I'll give that honestly. Chris Paul not being on that list. Is
Chris Paul is
he's on the list.
32.
He's
Chris
on the
Paul
list. He's on
Chris
the
Paul is number 32.
32. But last I checked,
Wow.
Chris Paul has more assists in his career than LeBron James, right?
Wow.
And
So
let's
Yeah.
more assists,
As of now,
but
yeah.
he's
As
number
of now.
32 all time in turnovers, and LeBron James number 1.
Wow.
Interesting.
Hey, shout out Chris Paul.
I
That's
didn't hear Mark
actually incredible
Jackson's
right
name.
there.
I didn't hear Mark Jackson's name.
But again, we heard James Harden, all time great playmaker. I think.
No, serious
Yeah,
question.
LeBron
How
James.
many people put Russell Westbrook and James Harden in all time IQ conversations?
Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
I mean, IQ, I think.
Westbrook should be nowhere near
And-
that shit.
And
Oh,
for the panel,
interesting.
real question. How do you like? This is why I don't like getting into IQ debates because how do we decide? who
Yeah, how
has
do
the
you
higher
measure that?
IQ?
It's
Yeah.
an intangible.
Yeah.
It doesn't get measured. It's an intangible.
That's a
Yeah.
fair question. Yeah, let's try to break it down. When we look at basketball IQ, what are we valuing or what are we looking at?
People will try and measure it with assist to turnover ratio, like I just tried to do.
That's
but
pure eye
Yeah,
test. That's pure eye test.
IQ
yeah.
is literally an intangible. It can't be measured. It's just about
Yeah.
what you value and what you deem as smart. And that's why
To me, your level of innovation on top of being consistent in terms of recognizing plays on the offensive and defensive end. On the defensive end, being able to slow down plays and slow down mismatches as well as on the offensive plays, exploit mismatches and predict what OTAs or potential adjustment the coaches might make. Those are signs of IQ.
So like what
So
you
is
said,
Luka Doncic
exploit
up there
mismatches.
too, as like highest IQ players in the league right now?
Yeah.
he's up there. I wouldn't have him number 1.
He's up there.
but
I don't say you have him one, but like he's up there.
Luka like number. If I had to think off the top of my head, like number 5, 6.
I think IQ is kind of hard to
Like to me, James Harden is a high IQ player.
Quantifying is hard.
I think-
But I mean, what Ace30 was saying was.
Well, what about defensive IQ as well?
Defense. I think
That's why
defensive
Draymond Green's in my
IQ,
top 5.
defensive IQ is something that's easier to judge if you watch off-ball defense, and you watch how a player communicates on defense. It's kind of easier to see for those that watch the game of basketball. Box score, defensive IQ, offensive IQ never really pops out, but I think defensive IQ is better to be able to see the effects of offensive IQ, because sometimes we don't know the plays that the player with the ball decided not to make. That was the smartest IQ player. We just see the results of the ones that they made. And sometimes with offensive IQ, it's also, all right, I changed the play in a way that it would have been something that, and we never know that factor of it. But defensive IQ, I think, is an easier thing to kind of gauge in general.
Also, I think
like Rondo had an interview on the JJ Reddit podcast. He was discussing why he has such an IQ, and the way he broke it down was like most of the time he doesn't really attack the other player. He's really attacking the coach. He's making his adjustments and attacks based off what he believes the opposing coach might do, and then and he would literally at times like look at the coach and read his lips and see what he's trying to say to the players and get an idea of what the players are trying to do and go from there. That's one way of observing IQ as well.
But how would you know he's doing that unless he told you in an interview? Like, you don't know that.
He said it. He said it in an interview. But also, you got these. I listen to a lot of coaches, especially when they give interviews about these players. Doc Rivers mentioned about like LeBron. He mentioned about Kobe and LeBron. Rick Carlisle mentioned about that. About Tim Duncan, Rondo. Like, it's really one of those things where because you can see a high communication player, but you can't tell what they're really saying. So I'm really using interviews from their perspective or firsthand.
How players?
That's why Kevin Garnett, one of the highest IQ players of all time.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett has been mentioned a lot.
But then, oh man, I'm gonna be nasty here. But then we listen to players, and everyone says that we shouldn't be listening to players.
Well, I never said that shit. But players say LeBron, KG, Rondo, they say the same names.
Yeah, they say the same names for sure.
It seems to me you guys give the whole IQ thing mostly to passers and playmakers, though. And that's my thing about IQ when I say you can't quantify it, because I think a high level efficient scorer can have just as high IQ as, well, maybe not as a LeBron, but as a playmaker or a passer in general. I think we just give that to them because they run the offense, but based on, it's contingent on your role and your skill set, I think. So I don't think it's all can be to the position you play. So like it can be anything. It can be anything.
It can be anybody.
Sometimes the high IQ play is you taking the shot.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, playing your role.
I think Kobe is one of the highest IQ players of all time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Kobe, Tim Duncan. I
kind of see what he's saying there. Like, basically, the way I'm understanding it is, just because they have the ball in their hands a lot, mainly the point guards who's passing, we're equating that to higher IQ.
Right. I hate the term making the right play. Oh, he always makes the right play. The right play, it depends. It depends on who has the ball. It depends on the role on the team. It depends on a lot of things. You can't just say, well, you pass the ball to the open guy in the corner. I guess that was the right play. But maybe.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I think
you're right. They are fired.
I think
right. We have some intelligent people up here right now. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. I mean, I think you also gotta give this. Let's not overlook, and just because he's a mainly defensive guy, but Dennis Rodman was one of the best defensive IQ-minded players in basketball history. When you hear him talk about how he figured out the angle balls would take based off where they were shot from and where they hit the rim to get the rebounds, like, you can't do that without being an extremely high IQ basketball.
Yo, what's your name, brother? Top left. What's your name?
Hayes.
Hayes.
Top
so
left
that's
is
what I mentioned.
Yeah, you know top right.
My fault. Top right. My bad, nigga. No, and I'll mention that in terms of innovation. To me, innovation is the most underrated parts of IQ that don't get mentioned about. For you to manipulate the rules or figure out, okay, this is not a rule, or for you to exploit the rules, to me, that is part of IQ as well.
So Charles Barkley,
exploiting rules is just
I think like a Dennis Rodman.
No, Chris Paul does all the time. For example, Chris Paul does all the time.
I mean, that's
he
don't give me
Charles Barkley high IQ.
He don't give me IQ points because of that. Damn.
Yeah. Why not? Why isn't Charles Barkley a high IQ player?
No, I'm just asking if you would hold him in that regard. For me,
yeah, and that's why I think James Harden's a high IQ player. I think
decision making was questionable, but he did
manipulate. No, I'm not saying, but his innovation as a rebounder and as a scorer, especially from the post, for that much disadvantage, That's what I think made him an innovator.
Motherfuckers is just cheating, bro. I'm not hearing that. They're just
Oh,
fucking
come
cheating.
on, dog.
Do you think we're biased?
Like,
Do you think we're biased
not
towards
hearing that.
players? Do we think we're biased towards players in terms of IQ conversation who are maybe more articulate in the way they talk about basketball outside? So like Kobe, when he's breaking down plays, talks about basketball. LeBron versus a Charles Barkley who maybe is not as articulate, doesn't say those things, but still when he plays the game, you could say he finds similar mismatches.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable you calling a black man not articulate. I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Jalen, I don't
No, I'm
think
not
it's
gonna
that.
lie. If Jalen started talking about how John Stockton and Steve Nash articulate themselves,
right? Then we get a conversation.
Then I would have actually said something. But he said LeBron and he said Chris Paul and Rondo.
But Jalen, I don't think it's that. You look at the GM survey just now. It was all playmakers and passers. I think we just
100%.
automatically
Yeah, we have a
give that to them because they're running their offense, and I think that's selling a lot of other people's positions short.
Yeah,
Like
we're
you said
gonna-
with the Kyle Korver shit, like or prime Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson.
I think Reggie Miller was a high IQ player.
Yeah, like a guy that can play off ball and just be ridiculously hard to guard off ball. He can be insanely high IQ and he never touches the ball.
Rip Hamilton was extremely high.
Yeah, like
Yep.
I think we're biased towards, like you said, the playmakers and passers are predominantly point guard type of guys because does having a higher basketball IQ affect their ability to play more? Yeah, it's more important for them than it is someone who plays off ball.
Correct.
The only
like your
reason
guy who always makes the right play.
LeBron James. But that's the reason for that is because that's kind of like the only thing people can look at and try to measure.
Yeah, from
like
a
they
casual
can't,
perspective, yeah.
Like they can't measure like the rotations and the off-ball movement that somebody's making, even defensive rotations and somebody picking up a man and blowing up the play. So that's why I said, and in my head, there could be somebody on the bench that's I mean, I'm just saying that's completely smarter than LeBron James at basketball.
Possibly.
But we will never know.
Just doesn't you can be smart and just not have the physical capabilities.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
The right play.
Yeah.
Like maybe I know the right play is to collapse the defense and hit a corner three, but I just can't play in the crowd because I'm 2 foot tall. I just can't do it. But I know that's what the actual play to break this defense is. And that's why some great coaches aren't.
And I'm sure on average,
exactly. I was just about to say these are coaches, bro.
Like,
coaches know.
Yeah, like there's a reason why. Yep. There's a reason why majority of the coaches was guards. Majority of the coaches were former guards.
Yeah.
At least the ones that played anyway. Majority of them.
It's actually an interesting point. Thinking about it, it's actually an interesting point.
You know, players that I've always deemed that have very high IQ, like players that are good cutters, because cutting is like
Dwayne Wade.
a lot of people cut and get in the way.
That's true.
Like people that know when and how to cut. Like,
hey, Mars, talk about me on 2K, man.
All ball in general.
I'm a cutting demon, bro. I'm a cutting demon.
Hey, talk on 2K. I know there's some terrorists when it comes to cutting. We got an inside big. You're cutting to the rim. What are you doing? Just clogging up the whole space. Like, some people just don't know basketball. Don't cut if there's an inside big running pick and roll. Don't do that. Just space the floor, stand in the corner, like do your job. Don't cut to the place where the big is going and then disrupt the whole alley-oop because you want to try and get it done. Fuck you. Don't do
like
that.
you just said though, Mars. I mean, screen setting too. A guy knowing when to pick and dive, when to pick and pop, when to slip the screen. Like there's so much to it. So I hate that we just give IQ to the guy with the ball in his hand. I hate that.
Another player that had, I think, definitely was the top of the league when he was playing Iggy. Andre Iguodala was a very high IQ player. Yeah.
You can tell. You can watch Iggy play, especially when he was on the Warriors, like prime 15, 16. You can tell, like him. Hell, everybody that came off the bench for the Warriors, those motherfuckers were smart. Like
Livingston and
Barbosa and fuck, even Mo Spates and Ezeli, them motherfuckers was smart. That's what made that team so great.
Bro, talk about it. Stephen Curry had a fucking bomb.
Sean Livingston IQ was crazy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you could tell.
People glaze Curry for being on
Andrew
that.
Bogut was high IQ too. Andrew Bogut was.
Andrew Bogut too.
Yeah, facts.
Jose called the
another underrated guy that I honestly don't get talked about like rarely was is another high IQ player like Andre Miller. Andre Miller was a very high IQ
I've
player.
heard some stories about him.
I think he was the most underrated point guard of that generation. Like he was.
He was.
But he probably was. He always started. I think.
I just like point guards at post games. It's just nice.
Do you like point guards in post games?
It's nice. I like Jalen Brunson. I like Sam Cassell. I like Andre Miller. I'm like, nice.
I do like Jalen Brunson.
Hey, you want to continue this list, Mars? We're almost done.
The last one was just about I've read one. The last one is just about which change for the upcoming season will have the biggest effect, and they picked the low load management rule. That was the last one.
Player participation rule. What's the other one?
Yeah.
What is this?
Tax.
Tax apron restrictions. That was about the salary cap, the in-season tournament, which is the in-season tournament.
Hey! This for Jalen. Watch this. Which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Kerr,
Kyrie,
Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Jokic, LeBron James has not been mentioned at all.
Because GMs are confused. It happens. They make mistakes. People make mistakes in life. People are confused. It happens. LeBron James has a consistent track record now. I'm giving LeBron a shot.
Jalen, he has not been good in LA in late game situations.
I mean, he had a bad season last season. Give me LeBron. Everyone goes through
his whole tenure in LA, Jalen.
So, question.
I
have a question for everyone. If the players, majority of them don't believe in LeBron as like that closer. If the GMs majority of them don't believe in him as that closer. If the coaches majority of them believe him as that closer. Why do the fans say he's this closer?
Wait, what players?
At some point,
I don't know.
Time out.
Now you're just proving
out these teams. I don't know why you don't want to leave.
Dub, time out. I don't know what coaches or players you've been listening to.
This game against us, and then he goes ahead and does. You like, bro?
Yeah, like
it's not that the coaches. No, it's not that
the coaches definitely say he's a closer.
My bad. It's not. It's my bad. Let me rephrase it. It's not that they don't think he can close. But he's not on the level which other people, like the fandom, be trying to put him.
It's just shit. It's not at that level, but when he keeps doing it, then that's on them.
I feel like all the facts coaches think he's a better closer than Kobe. It's just the fans.
No one bring up Kobe. Ain't no one.
I'm just saying.
No one brought up Kobe.
Everyone.
These niggas are.
Ain't no one brought him.
No, one nigga.
You ain't have to do that.
Everyone believes
we were talking about the
Kobe's the
current
better
day of
closer.
players, and you bring up Kobe.
Yeah, everyone believes.
If you want to say based on last year alone, I mean, sure, 100% you can say there's other players you'd rather take a shot. But again, I'm going to go off for more than a 1-year sample size. I'm talking the past 4 or 5 years.
Steph
10
Curry's
years.
won that.
Jalen, try 21 years.
I mean, yeah, hold on. Just because Steph Curry's a phenomenal 3-point shooter doesn't mean I want him to take the last shot of every
I'm just
game.
saying.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Steph Curry's won that.
I kind of agree with Jalen right there.
Yeah, Mars right. Steph Curry,
Steph Curry and KD are the top 2 in that poll, like every single season.
I think Kyrie make it top 3 though 1 year. 1 year.
2016.
But we've already established Steph is a front runner when it comes to closing games. He ain't going.
I can't say that. I can't say that no more, Dub. I can't say that no more, Dub. I can't say that no more, Dub. Well, he did the last 2 postseasons. You can't say that no more.
2 postseasons. What did he do? What did he do last year?
What do you mean? What do you think he did against the Kings series? What are you talking about?
He started hitting threes when they were up 15.
He didn't drop 15 game 7, nigga.
Mars, tell him again.
He started when they were up 15, but I mean,
when the game was
no, don't do that.
Talk about it. Come on, that's what he was doing. That's exactly.
No. I remember Game 7. Game 7, that first half, it was literally Curry versus the Kings offensively.
That's not
every shot they was trying to. I remember the first half of Game 7 so big.
That's not closing a game. We're talking about closing.
Your performance in Game 7 is not a closing situation. What you talking about?
Of course it is. But see, this is my problem when y'all try to like broaden this shit.
Not closing.
Like, stop trying to broaden it, bro. Like,
what do you mean broaden it? No, it's a fact that the Warriors were trash on the road. The Warriors were trash on the road last year, and Game 7 was on the road, right? So what the fuck did Steph Curry do when his team was in Game 7 on the road?
It was a clutch.
That's a closing situation.
That's what you're trying to. It was a clutch performance, but that wasn't closing. There's a difference. And
he's had plenty more.
No, we just agree to disagree. That's all.
That's a difference.
We just agree to disagree.
I disagree with a lot of shit you say.
What was the stat? He was like 0 for 13 or 14.
You can't. Yeah, if you can disagree with facts, that's all. Hey, it's okay to disagree with facts. That's your opinion.
30 seconds of playoff games to tie or take the lead.
Want to say that again, Mars?
You said what, Mars?
I think he's 0 for 12 in the last 30 seconds of playoff games to tie or take the lead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
0 for 9 in the last 24 seconds.
That is OD.
Yep, that's a fact.
And in that third quarter, I'm not gonna lie, when they was pulling away in that third quarter, know what Steph was shooting? 5 for 12.
It's cool.
But okay. And then once they got that lead, wonder what happened, Bars?
Wow.
Hitting them bitches like it was nothing.
That's how he does. That's how he does.
You
Shout out
disgusting.
Steph,
Come
man.
on,
Shout out
you
Steph.
disgusting.
That's
But if we
what
want to
it
be
is.
honest, if we're going to be honest about closing, right? Don't we think that's predicated on having a great in between game? Like I think if you don't have a great in between game, you can't be a great closer. To be honest, that's why Steph does have a great in between game.
That's good.
He does now.
What makes
He does
what
now.
makes
That's why
somebody
I
a
think
great
he's
closer?
improved.
Like I just said, I think skill set wise is having a great in between game. We can talk about the killer wheel mentality, all that shit, but I truly think it's if you can have runners, floaters, leaners, a post game, obviously a mid range pull up. If you have that shit in your bag, you're gonna be able to close some games. Because I think that's the most readily available shots in those tight situations. They're not letting you shoot. Well, they're gonna let you shoot a step back three, but they're not letting you shoot, like the threes you want, and you're damn sure not letting you get to the goal. So having that,
you're really good though.
Are we just restricting? Are we just restricting closing to scoring?
Huh?
Well, let's be honest, when we're talking about closing, ain't no one bringing up the fact that you set that really good screen to get Steph Curry open.
Yeah, like.
But I do mention like that great defensive play you make or that play make you made. Like I mentioned all that shit when it comes to closing.
Yeah,
not just making shots.
You might, but the masses, it depends on the player who makes the play.
But think about Giannis.
Yeah, I give you that.
Giannis can go get a clutch ass block, but he can't go on the other end, and he's not going to dunk on you to end the game. He's got to do some in between shit, and he has no in between game.
He can dunk on you with 4 seconds left. He could dunk on you.
I mean that, but how long? How many times has that happened, Jalen?
But yeah, I don't consider Giannis to be a quote unquote closer.
Yeah.
Because you remember when Bron made that game winning layup on the Pacers?
Yeah.
How many times did some shit like that happen at the end of games, the end of a playoff game? We're not letting you get to the goal.
For LeBron, it happens like
I think he had another one layup too.
Another
one
against Washington.
Yeah, another one.
LeBron be making some bullshit. Like LeBron
did that
be
against
making
the
some.
Pistons too.
LeBron works on that, man.
Nah, LeBron will be making some wild nonsense. That shit don't even be making sense.
Against the Bulls, he had a crazy shot against the Bulls to win too. I think a crazy shot.
You talking about that Wizards fadeaway shot from the sideline?
It's not.
In a playoff game like early on in his career,
it's not set up.
No, I'm talking about layups though. I'm talking about getting to the goal. That's why I said the in between game shit. Yeah,
mid range and all that.
So is KD
it's very rare that you can get all the way downhill in the half court.
No,
correct.
Closing situation.
Correct.
Is KD an elite closer to you?
That's it. KD's clearly he's a better mid-range shooter than LeBron, a better shooter than LeBron, but LeBron's a better closer, right? But
he could be. He does have the tools.
The thing is, when we're talking about this, theoretically, KD would be a better closer than LeBron.
Yeah, theoretically.
In reality, I trust LeBron more than KD in those situations. That's how.
Yeah, theoretically.
I know some people might disagree, whatever, but for me, I'm trusting LeBron.
So theoretically, well, go ahead, Trevor.
Theoretically, Paul George is supposed to be a top 5 closer in the game, but he's nowhere near that.
I mean, he can't even stay in a game 5 times. So
I mean, Paul
is a part too.
Oh yeah, Kawhi
I don't usually
an elite closer.
I don't usually give the mentality.
Kawhi's 100%. Yeah, Kawhi's 100%.
I don't usually give the mentality thing of like take it away from people. But Paul George, he just.
Why was Fred VanVleet close?
That's the difference. That's the difference between Jimmy and Paul George. There's no reason. There's no reason for Jimmy to be more clutch than Paul George.
Besides the fact, time Jimmy's just balls like Paul George is. I don't know what.
That's because Jimmy been manipulating those refs into getting those foul calls.
Nah, Jimmy Butler just turns his brain off and just start hitting crazy shit.
That's turn your brain off. That's funny.
Turn your
brain
off.
Funny callback.
But that's a true thing because I understand what you'll be saying when you go on autopilot. Like when you go on autopilot sometimes, and you're just going, like you just going, bro, and like. I think Jimmy Butler does that a lot more than Paul George. Why we think he's more clutch because, bro, he'll just be hitting shit. And I'm like that's not supposed to go in. Like it's a bad shot. You got the man in your face, and you're hitting it. It's like, bro.
And that
I'm be honest,
was his brain off
like
when
Jimmy
he took that pull up 3 against Al Horford in Game 7 in 2022.
It was off. It was off.
Maybe you should have turned it on and drove.
Oh, maybe it was a bad shot. Though.
No, he didn't have no time to drive. He had no time to drive.
I thought it was a terrible
6
shot.
seconds.
No, I'm saying it was 6 seconds when he got the ball on the other side, Mars. Remember, they had to bring the ball up.
I know there was time on that clock.
He get to the rim in 6 seconds off a rebound?
He was at the 3-point line with a head of stick. I'm watching this.
They had mad time. No. Ace 30 Mars. They had like 13 seconds left. They had time.
Okay, no. Mars said 6. Mars said 6 seconds. My fault.
They had a lot of time left, bro. They had time.
See this.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this.
No, but I think, but like the answer to the Paul George thing, I think Jimmy's just more aggressive offensively in the postseason. Like Paul George be relying a lot on his jump shots, and that's for the most part why he's not as efficient or productive as Jimmy in the playoffs.
But
Jimmy be attacking.
Right? That's a mentality thing, right? Right, Ace 30? That's a mentality thing.
Yeah, Jimmy be taking a lot of jump shots. Yeah. He just hits them. Jimmy just seems to hit him in the playoffs.
But like I said, does Jimmy have a better in-between game than Paul George?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But Jimmy
it's closer than people want to admit.
Yeah, it is closer. But Jimmy just the thing is Jimmy converts on his shit, while Paul George is like, you just don't. That's why there's sometimes where mentality could play a part. I think that PG versus I think that's the main thing that separates the two.
I think Jimmy's playoff rising is just such an anomaly. Like I just think his playoff rising is
because he got that dog in him, Jalen.
Whatever it is, 100%. It could be 100% that dog in him, the mindset. It's something. It's something that's not quantifiable because the shots he hits and the way he plays. You watch him in the regular season versus the post.
There was 11 seconds left.
It was 11 seconds actually.
I just lied. I knew.
Yeah, that was enough. No, I was going off you saying 6 seconds, Mars. That's it. I was like, based on 6 seconds. No, he ain't got enough time.
That's funny as hell.
I have another question. Do you guys consider like elite shot blocker like Rudy Gobert high IQ as well, being with the time shots, the tier shots as well?
It's not that. It's not. Nope. I'm not doing this.
Rudy Gobert is
I'll tell y'all what I told Mars about 2K. Mm-hmm. So it's actually very easy to play that, to cover that ground when you actually know what you're doing. So to me, that shit's easy. On 2K, but not basketball. Basketball would be different. It's easier to be a roamer and just help guys recover and make sure guys don't go blow by than all that other shit. That's just me. That's my own anecdotal experience.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This new standing dunk meter is kind of dumb.
Standing dunk
meter is good.
Yeah.
Oh, Mars, the shooting is the exact same. The shooting is the exact same. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's fine. I go build a 99 3-pointer. I'll be cooking this one. That's cool.
Let me read off some super chats though, man. Drink more water. I don't know how the team that's been the first, third, and first seed the last 5 seasons and only Eastern team with a title not running the East.
Because you only been to the finals one time, buddy. You only won the East one time.
Yeah, you're good. That's why. Offensively, Melo better or worse than T-Mac?
Worse.
Yeah, worse.
Yo, oh my God.
Unanimous decision. Good work, guys.
God Serena. Do you guys think defense actually wins championship playoffs? Agent Zero don't think so.
Yes,
not in today's NBA.
Even in today's NBA, I do.
I think you can win more with an elite defense and adequate offense than an elite offense and adequate defense.
All right.
Can we look past like 10 champions? And I just want to see. I understand your statement, but I just don't know. Is that true? For
I think Denver and Cleveland are the only teams to win it with the Warriors.
It's true. It's true for the modern era. Yeah, like 90% of the teams that won, like they defense been elite either in the postseason or the regular season or both.
But the defense could have been elite because of their offense.
Right.
Everything's connected. If your offense is great, that means you have a half-court defense more often than not, which makes it easier to be a good defense. If your offense is trash, you're having to defend in transition.
Tell that to every Mike D'Antoni.
I'm just it's just. I mean, Mike
D'Antoni's team.
The Houston Rockets in 2018 weren't.
Yes, thank you. There we go, boys.
That 1 year.
I'm just saying he got like the label of like a bad defense. Like a bad defense is like what you get with Mike D'Antoni. In Phoenix, I can agree. Houston's defense wasn't bad.
Were they top 10?
And let's be
even
real.
When they went micro ball with Robert Covington at the 5, their defense wasn't bad. Their defense was better than their offense. Like I just think they don't get enough credit for the fact that the defense was actually pretty good.
And Mars, let's not forget.
Who was their defensive coordinator at that time? Didn't they have like a guy?
Oh, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but he's pretty known to be a pretty.
Hey, Mars, let's not forget about the Suns. There's still cheating allegations for the San Antonio Spurs in that series.
Well, yeah, they still could have won. I think they could have won. I just think the defense wasn't very good.
If Mike D'Antoni wins a ring with that team, he's remembered so different.
It's crazy that if that Suns team wins a ring and Steve Nash is a champion,
It changes
woo,
a lot of
it's
narratives
crazy.
about
It's
the
crazy
world, bro.
Crazy how that
A
goes.
lot.
It does.
Man, offense wins championships. Fuck out of here.
I think offense.
Yeah,
is
no
more
question.
important, too.
Yeah, question for the panel. Do y'all think which legacy help a championship helps more, a coach or a player?
Player.
It depends on the
1,000%.
level of the player. It depends on
No,
the level.
Yeah.
player.
I think
Player.
coach.
Player.
So if you're an MVP,
Player.
if you're an MVP caliber player with the ring versus without a ring, I think there's a big jump.
Bro,
that people have, even though
motherfuckers
it shouldn't.
Motherfuckers build legacies. They build legacies. They
Coaches
build fan
too.
bases. Yeah,
Doc
but
Rivers
coaches
is
too.
still
the
living
legacy,
off
Like
that one ring.
Rick Carlisle
Yeah.
and Doc Rivers be living off that one ring.
but legacies be built so
No,
crazy
no, but
for
like
these
they wouldn't,
players and these rings, bro.
yeah,
I'm
but they
trying-
won't even call you all-time great coach without a ring, though.
Well, too, I think
Even
No,
though
that's not true.
even
That's
though
not
John
true.
Nelson is unequivocally
Yeah,
a
John
better
Nelson.
coach than Doc Rivers. On all-time lists, I don't know how many lists have him over.
how many dynasties are built without an all-time great coach though at the head of it?
But what's
How many dynasties are built without an
Golden
all-time
State
great
Warriors?
player, though? How
True,
many
but
dynasties-
you can have a
it-
collection
None.
of players
You need
together.
both. You need
But
both.
it takes a great coach to be able to fit those players together. If you don't
Who are
have a
your
great
great
coach
coaches?
to bring it together,
but
like
like
a great coach can a semi good coach can win you a title with a great player. But if you're talking about sustained success over, we're talking about 5, 6, 7 years, winning 3, 4 rings over that time. Usually, there's a damn good coach at the head of
Look,
that as well.
I hear you. I think any mediocre coach could have won with those Kobe, Shaq, Lakers. I think any mediocre coach could have won with the KD.
You
Steph
tweaking.
Warriors.
You
I
tweaking.
agree.
You
I
tweaking.
agree.
You tweaking.
I watched Harris unable to
You tweaking.
I watched Harris unable to
Jalen
do
tweaking.
Nah,
Jalen tweaking.
come on now.
Jalen tweaking.
Nah, for
You need
real.
a manager.
Have Kobe's head pop somewhere, bro. Come on, man.
I get what y'all saying.
saying.
I get it. But when I say
Do
mediocre
y'all-
coach,
do-
let's say mediocre coaches. Give me like an example all time of a mediocre coach.
Phil
Like
Jackson.
Okay,
Thank you.
all time mediocre coach. A
Thank
coach that hasn't won a ring. Let's say
Hey.
that's a good coach. Trying to think. Really good coach. People have a good coach that's never won a ring.
Does Mike
Jerry
Budenholzer
Sloan.
with Shaq and Kobe?
Jerry Sloan, go ahead.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan was a top 5 coach.
He's a
No,
leader.
no, he's a
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
7 coach all time. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
Didn't
there's
he
a
say a
difference with
good
that
coach
one
that
though.
didn't win a
They
ring?
ran into Mike. Mike stopped them from getting tired.
Yeah, Jerry
I'm saying,
Sloan's an elite
I'm
coach.
saying,
Jerry Sloan's an elite coach.
wasn't the question what's a good coach that never won a ring?
He said mediocre.
Oh.
He said mediocre.
Oh, mediocre. Oh,
He
I
said
thought
mediocre.
saying a
Jerry
good
Sloan
coach.
is legendary.
Yeah, you
I
guys in
thought
the chat are
he
saying
said
Don
good
Nelson,
coach,
Rick
sturdy.
Adelman. Like you guys are saying elite coaches.
Yeah.
Nah, Bud would
Now
have
George Cole.
So I think George Karl still wins with Kobe and Shaq.
George Karl, the white Doc Rivers.
The white Doc Rivers.
But the same way,
No,
and
definitely.
to go back to the question, the same way how a ring can define a coach, there are rings can define players too. If Melo
Dirk
gets a
Nowitzki.
ring, Dirk Nowitzki, Carmelo, if he gets a ring, like it's just
Yeah,
it works
but
both
Dub,
ways.
it's not contingent on your like as a player. You have to be a damn good player for your ring to matter. As a coach, you could be you could be like a motivational guy, not a great adjustment guy, not a great X's and O's guy. But if you win, for instance,
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson, if you win a bunch of rings, then you're the greatest coach ever. I mean, that doesn't make you this smart ass coach, but you have to be a great player for your rings to matter. Like,
I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that is
Phil
fact.
Jackson
That's
gets
that's a
credit
very
for
good
his
point,
At most,
actually.
on
It's a very
championship
good point,
teams,
yes.
the best player of the ring will matter. Some teams, the second best player will matter. And if you're really lucky, the third best player will matter.
Draymond Green.
Mhm.
Beyond that, if you're the fifth best guy, it's not
No one cares.
Patrick
Yeah,
McCall.
Andrew
Who-
Bogut's rings.
yeah.
Andrew Bogut's rings aren't moving people.
Derek
Yeah,
We're
Fisher
talking
rings.
about the fact that
ain't
Andrew
really
Bogut has
moving them.
championships.
Do people really care that Rob already has 7 rings? Like, do people really care?
No, they don't.
Some
No,
people
right.
don't even care about Horace Grant's contribution on the Bulls.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
real.
Like
It's
once
just
you
Jordan
get
Pippen.
past Scotty and Mike,
Yeah.
like no one really cares.
It's a drop.
But you could
Coaches,
be like
I
a
mean, they get the
so-so
credit.
coach.
But Phil,
If
but
I
Phil,
think
but
people
Phil,
care about Dennis.
ironically,
I think people care about Dennis. I think people care about Dennis Rodman for the
yeah, but Dennis is a Hall of Famer. That's why.
They're not
Dennis
even
Rodman,
with
yeah,
yeah,
Dennis, that's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
said
yeah.
Horace Grant. That's why I made sure
Yeah.
to say Horace Grant because Dennis Rodman gets his.
No, that
He
makes
might-
a lot
he
of
might
sense.
get
Mark.
Like James,
That makes a lot of sense, Mark.
like James Worthy, Tony Parker, them dudes gonna always get their credit because they're Hall of Famers and they're the third option.
Correct.
Yeah, you have to have a
Yeah.
really great team for the third or fourth best players wins to matter.
Yeah, like we ain't like 10 years from now, we ain't really gonna be talking about Aaron Gordon. On the
Yeah,
2020
yeah.
Lakers.
Right. But the Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman thing you just said, that makes total sense. Dennis Rodman gets way more credit for the rings he won with the Bulls than Horace Grant. And I think Horace Grant was a better player for the Bulls when he was there.
Especially the second two, especially 97 and 98. Dennis Rodman was not.
That's my point. But historically speaking, he's not the player that Dennis Rodman is. So no one cares. So I think coaches, if you're a coach, you're in the right position. You get Shaq in his prime, and then you have Kobe come. Hey.
Yeah, nobody's.
I think Phil don't get enough credit for his defensive adjustments. Like Phil wasn't just a personality man.
It's hard judging Phil. 100%. I see what you're saying. Like
he's not. Phil is not a Kobe and Jordan Merchant as people try to say it is.
I don't think
he's the best coach ever, but
I don't think he's the greatest coach ever, though. Yeah.
I think he's a good coach, and he also got blessed with
he has to be in the top 5.
He's minimum top 5. Minimum.
But people talk like he's undisputed to GOAT. Like he's just.
I don't think he's the greatest coach.
He's not a better coach than Greg Popovich whatsoever.
Right.
I think everyone has Greg Popovich over Phil, even though Phil
I don't know that, Jalen. I don't know that, Joe.
I got Pat Riley.
Jalen, it's a lot of you niggas. When I say you niggas, LeBron niggas, they try to text Kobe and say he has the greatest coach of all time.
I think Greg Popovich's a better coach than Phil Jackson. I've never heard Phil Jackson over Greg Popovich.
Eric Spoelstra is one more
what? Look, I'm thinking right. Even on Open Gym, I've never seen someone put Phil Jackson over Greg Popovich. I'm like Greg Popovich.
Jalen, you tweaking. Jalen, you just tweaking.
I've heard it.
Bring up the tape or something. I feel like I maybe he'll said what I'm saying. Not 9 out of 10 list. I'm seeing Greg Popovich.
Let me ask you this: have you talked about basketball before you came onto a Player Source?
Yeah.
And you've never heard anyone say that ever in your life?
I've heard people say more about Phil Jackson was more blessed having Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe, Shaq, than ever bring up his coaching tactics, him being, I guess, the guy who popularized the triangle, whatever the case may be. But with Greg Popovich, people always bring up
Jalen, I can say that
his system.
Hey,
Tim Duncan
runs in the chat and just said Phil Jackson clears.
No, it's really Tim Duncan. No, I'm saying if Phil.
What?
He cut out.
Disappeared.
No, I said if Phil Jackson's a Kobe, Pippen, Shaq, Kobe merchant, then Greg Popovich has to be a Duncan merchant.
He was.
But he's not.
No. Because
I think any great coach, their job is to build the best system around the stars. I don't get how you're a merchant of your star by building the best system around them.
And plus,
Steve Kerr was doing a disservice to Golden State if he didn't put the best system around Steph, Draymond, and those guys.
That's why Bud
just try to prove that he's not a merchant. Like, no, put the best system around him. That's how you win.
I don't think it's because you can't call him a merchant if you're like you said they're put in the best situation when you're winning sustainably with them. So I don't really, because all the best coaches have great players. Like Pat Riley had Magic Johnson, then he had Dwayne Wade, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like all the best coaches have some like at least a top 20 player. Like
Pat Riley was also doing it with Pat Riley was also doing it with some mediocre teams too.
Bill Russell did it with himself as the best player. Now tell me another coach who did that.
I've heard Larry Brown is a top 5 coach. What he did in college, the NBA, and the players he had to work with. I've heard that take.
He's in a conversation. He's in a conversation.
So the coaches, I'd say, so top 5 of all time. Let's say all time NBA players, top 10. Most of the top 10 guys all have multiple rings. Correct? Guys are top 10 lists. Most, if not all, have multiple. Yeah, all have multiple. While coaching, I think there's sometimes that one ring gives them a bigger bump. Or
there's no way Ron actually believes what he just put in the chat. There's no way he believes.
You know, Ron's just a host. He doesn't.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said Greg Popovich had more talent than Phil Jackson. That's what he said.
Stop.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so crazy. All right, but do you guys think having multiple rings as a player is more valuable to their all-time rank versus coaches?
If it's a good player, though. If it's a good player, though, Jalen.
Yeah, Trey Ball actually put it so eloquently that players not going to care. I mean, people not going to care if like you Andrew Bogut or you on the bench or the third best player winning the ring. So it's mainly applicable to the best players, not really.
Damn near if you're second, like let's say
some teams even if you're second they don't really
like let's say Kyrie and Bron stayed together and they won like 3 straight. I mean, Kyrie's gonna get his credit, but like nobody's gonna like motherfuckers will still say Dame was better than him. If they were to like, Kyrie has 3 rings, it doesn't matter. Even Pippen, like
Clyde
if you were the best
player,
player,
get that much love for his ring on Houston.
Who?
Very true.
Yeah.
Clyde doesn't.
Clyde
People act
doesn't
like
get
Clyde
enough
didn't win a ring. That's a
Joe
Joe Dumars doesn't even get
Joe
enough respect. It's
Dumars,
just
and that
Isaiah
pisses me
Thomas.
off.
And he got a Finals MVP. He got a Finals MVP.
And he has a Finals. Yeah.
And Joe Dumars still doesn't get enough respect. And you could argue he was better.
You can.
Dumars
You
really-
can.
You
You
can,
can.
big
I
guy.
do
You
argue
nasty,
that.
Mars.
No, I digress.
I do argue that, but yeah, like it's not even close. If you're like
Who's a better
good
coach?
player,
Go ahead, finish it.
no, you finish.
I was saying, who's a better coach, Rick Carlisle or Steve Kerr?
Steve Kerr. Easy, Steve Kerr.
I've heard, you know the
I
Steve
gotta
Kerr
go
talk.
Kerr.
People say Steve Curry.
Yeah, people think Steve Kerr's a
Yeah,
better,
you can't call him a Steph Curry merchant.
I gotta go Kerr, but I was gonna ask y'all the difference between let's say do you think Kerr's like the system he put in place and the players that he had, do you think he benefited more from those guys? Not the system, but from the guys he had, or do you think Phil benefited more from the guys he had? And we can just go.
You said Kerr and Phil?
Who benefited
Who benefited more from the talent they had? Because I think Kerr maximized the talent more than Phil did.
So yeah, I think
disagree.
Phil. I think Phil because
Me and you
when you look at
disagree on a lot.
I think Phil.
I know. I know.
You said that so calmly.
All right, go ahead. Y'all got it.
No, finish, dog. No.
No, I want to hear this.
No, because I've been waiting. He's on my list. I've been waiting.
Go ahead, cook him real quick.
Oh yeah, let's get this one-on-one. Let's get this one-on-one.
No, so the main thing, like one, like I get it. Tex Winners came out with the triangle and all that, but like I said before, Phil does not get enough credit for his defensive adjustments, and for you to be a leader of men, for guys who have high egos like a Shaq, like a Jordan, like a Kobe, that matters a lot. And there's a reason why Jordan quit twice. No, my fault. There's a reason why Jordan quit the second time when the Bulls didn't want to re-sign Phil Jackson. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why Kobe, you himself said the main difference between Phil Jackson and any other coach I ever had, the fact that Phil knows how to communicate, you know how to help focus guys together as a unit. Those are the things that matter. So when we just say talent, you can give the best talent in the world, as we saw with Steve Nash. It don't matter if you don't know how to put that shit together, and most importantly, put them in a system where they believe in it.
So you're speaking about intangibles, right? And you're the same guy that says intangibles don't matter. You're the same guy that
I did not say. I never said that. Never said that.
No, you
never
said you said, don't you say like it's some Jedi force or something like that? You made fun
Yeah,
of,
I said when you use intangibles like killer will, aura, that's anime bullshit.
So how do
That's
you
why
qualify? Okay, so being a leader of men, what the fuck? What does that qualify?
that's an intangible. Yeah, that's an
So
intangible.
that's an intangible. So being a leader of men is an intangible, but having killer will isn't.
Yeah, I'm not describing an anime. I'm not. No, that's dumb.
It's the same thing.
That they
It's
say
literally
that
the
they
same
say that in anime too. Leader of men. I'm not.
It's
even
the
gonna hold
same
you.
thing. It's
not the same thing.
Like being a leader, when we talk about on the court, I usually say that's more so. I mean, I like talking on the court, of course, but you lead by example. I
Tell
think.
me Kakashi isn't a leader.
I think you lead by example when it comes to that. But what you're saying is, and I'll give you the Phil Jackson defensive adjustments thing. I will give you that. Like he was good, but again, when we talking about we judge players based off of skill and eye test. But when it comes to coaches, we don't do that because Phil Jackson. He may be top 5 when it comes to adjust, but you're just talking about one side of the floor. Overall, Phil Jackson, X's and O's, he's a motivation guy. That's what I give him. He's a guy that was able to calm the personalities and all that, like you said, which is fair. But again, Tex made the triangle offense.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say? What do you say about comments about Draymond, Klay Thompson, Curry, and Iggy multiple times saying in interviews saying that we credit Mark Jackson for building our confidence. We credit Mark Jackson for instilling that defensive philosophy that carried us over into the dynasty. What'd you say about that?
To be honest, I think it's bullshit. I think Mark Jackson's he was cool and he was great and he could say he laid the foundation, but I don't think they win those titles without Steve Kerr. And I'm not some like super Steve Kerr fan, but I think Steve Kerr doesn't get credit for the fact that he always led a crazy they were always, when they won, was a top 5 offense, right? I mean defense. Of course there was top 5 offense, but they always had a great defense. I think Steve Kerr made great adjustments, especially in the playoffs, just in series adjustments. Not counting the last few years, because I don't know what they did the last few years. Even when they won in 2022, they were like on Steph's back to me. But for the prime years, 15, 16, 17, 18, I think Steve Kerr was like, it goes Steph, then Steve Kerr in terms of importance to me.
I just like you don't think Steve Kerr that last championship run displayed his greatest performance as a coach. The fact that one, you had Steph Curry being injured going to the playoffs, and you guys still they still be able to win the series and win games with Steph coming off the bench. The fact that literally in the finals we seen him. Yeah, the last championship. Yeah, 2022. We literally seen Steve Kerr in the finals with Draymond take him in and out of possessions to optimize the team's offense and optimize the team's defense. And like you mentioned before, the defensive adjustments, and Mars contested multiple this too. No other team besides maybe the Heat ran more zone principles than the Warriors, especially that last postseason. So to me, that's all coaching, and I think that was the biggest display of Steve Kerr as a coach, even after KD.
So you proved my point. You proved my point that he's better than Phil Jackson.
No, I know. I'm actually helping you out by describing Steve Kerr's impact as a coach.
You did, and then you're proving my point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because, like I said, that's similar to what I said about Phil. Because Phil was accredited just like Steve Kerr, just like Steve Kerr and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson was given the credit for putting the battery, quote unquote, in the Warriors' back defensively, while Steve Kerr took credit for what they did offensively. It's the same thing for Phil Jackson. Tex Winter gets the credit for the triangle offense. However, Phil Jackson's the guy who's making the defensive adjustments, and he's the guy who's refocusing that team. So I'm just giving you the similarities between the two coaches. But I'm more so predicated off the fact that one, Phil was able to do it with multiple franchises, different cores of players, and still get high levels of success. Well, we haven't seen that from Kerr yet. So I don't think Phil Jackson is as much as a merchant as Steve Kerr. Those are the reasons why.
How when the teams in which he had, bro, he had Kobe and Shaq.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Like Kobe and Pau Gasol.
No, that's what I said with different cores. One championship he won with Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Pippen. The next few championships he won with Scottie Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman. And then the next set of championships he won with Shaq and Kobe. And then the next set of championships he won with Paul Gasol and Kobe. Different players, high levels of success.
Yeah, but all those players are like two of those players are top 5 players. Top 3. Shaq,
yeah,
Kobe, and
two of those players. I mentioned 5.
Shaq, Kobe, and Jordan,
I mentioned 5, Jalen. I mentioned my fault. I mentioned 6 players, Jalen. That's the point.
No, but I'm saying though, but each one of those
top 5 players of all time.
That's crazy.
Right.
3 of them are top 10 players all time.
I guess what I'm saying is,
no, 6 of those players not top 10 players.
I said
not
3.
6.
3.
No, Shaq, Kobe, and Jordan. You know, clearly, I think you can make these top 5.
If we hypothetically switch them,
am I confused? If not, some of you guys have Steph Curry in your top 10 now. How many championships does Steve Kerr win without Steph?
0.
See, I hate that.
Okay, so what's the point?
Like,
no, they just said it to me.
That's why people
they literally just said it to me.
In that top 10 because that's incorrect. Sorry.
I don't have Wait, who's a better coach, Eric Spoelstra or Steve Kerr?
I think it's Spo.
I think it's Spo too. Does everyone else Spo? Who's the better coach, Steve Kerr or Spo?
Eric Spoelstra. But Trey Ball, what was the point? What was the point you was getting at? My bad for interjecting.
No, it was we got at it. It was about Steve Kerr maximizing talent as opposed to Phil Jackson maximizing it. And if we were to switch those guys, and again, it's weird because I can't say. Well, I do think he's better adjustments wise. But if we were to switch and put Phil Jackson on the Warriors and Steve Kerr on the Bulls, I still think the Bulls win 5 or 6. And I think Phil Jackson, when it comes to Steph Curry and them, I don't think he would maybe win a ring, maybe.
Steve. So last question for Trey Ball. So is Steve Kerr allowed to take what he learned from Phil Jackson with him in this hypothetical?
That's what I'm about to say. It's kind of unfair because how different the offenses were back then. So I was accounting for that.
You don't even have to get into that. If you look at it, we're talking about Phil Jackson and Steve Kerr. Like at the end of the day, what the Warriors were before Steve Kerr, like they weren't this crazy dominant force that they became. They became that as soon as Steve Kerr came into the building and implemented that
Mark
offense.
Jackson's
when we saw the foundation
they weren't. He built the foundation. They still weren't that juggernaut until Steve Kerr came into the building. That's just a fact.
Wait. When you
Or
guys say
Steve
he
Kerr-
built the
or Steph
foundation,
Curry just
what
got better.
foundation did Mark
I
Jackson
guess-
build?
I guess when
Mark
the
Jackson
GM
built the foundation.
Build a
I just like to give him
defensive
credit,
foundation.
Mars, to be honest.
What did he build? What was the foundation he built?
Because
I
if
guess
he,
when people say
They
that, I
started
guess
playing defense.
Oh, so defensively he built the foundation.
Yeah, literally according to like Draymond and Iggy, that's really Draymond, like a female. Like he told all the details about this. He literally said even the first year they won the championship, he felt he had more confidence in Mark Jackson than post Steve Kerr. It wasn't
Yeah,
until
I've heard him say
2016 that Draymond felt confident in Steve Kerr as a coach. Like that, this shit crazy.
do you
I-
think
I
think-
Mark
I've
Jackson? I mean, not Phil
Do you
Jackson. Do
think
you think
also
Mark
hey,
Jackson?
hey,
Offensively, I don't think Mark Jackson laid.
Do you think also it's because like
Defensively, I don't.
do you think
No,
also
Mark
it's
Jackson was
because,
still doing shit like elevator screens. I was like, nigga, I
That's
did
why I
that.
said, do you
Yeah,
think Mark
Jackson
Jackson would have even
offensively, Mark
moved,
Jackson was hella basic offensively.
Okay.
would he have even moved Draymond in the starting lineup?
No,
That
because-
don't
Oh,
seem
he
like some
wouldn't.
Mark
I
Jackson
don't think
shit to
so.
do. Right.
I don't think so.
And like
Steve
let
Kerr
him
was
be
a
a
forward thinking
playmaker. I
coach.
don't see Mark Jackson allowing that.
Mhm.
that's why because I hear about they would have done this with Mark Jackson. I'm like that offense would have been cooked.
yeah,
Like,
because
Mark
Curry is a lot
Jackson
more
was
on
not
ball
doing it.
than Mark Jackson.
Like Steph Curry was off the ball sometimes because he's Steph Curry. Like you have to run some sort of
Right,
offense.
naturally.
But like Real Talk said,
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm seeing elevator screens in 2013. I don't know why I'm seeing.
What's very odd to me is a lot of people, and I don't know how A30 feels about this, but a lot of people love the arguments about people like, oh yeah, I'd rather have a floor raiser. I'd rather have a ceiling raiser than a floor raiser. That's fine. So why is it with Steve Kerr building this ultimate ceiling raiser, and as soon as he gets into the building, 67 wins. Steph Curry breaks the record again. Then he breaks another record with 400 threes, wins 73 wins. Draymond Green and having that small ball lineup, he impacted the small ball lineups as well and being innovative in that way. Steve Kerr literally ceiling rose that team from being a very good team. It's not like the Golden State Warriors were trash, but a very good team, 51 team to an unstoppable juggernaut. Why does he, if you love ceiling raising so much, why does he get so much discredit for ceiling raising that team?
Well, Dub, I'm more of a floor raising guy than opposed to ceiling raising guy, but I don't.
Yeah, that's
I
why
don't
I
know.
said I didn't know where you were with that. So.
No, I'm saying like, but I don't know. Real talk, I don't know why Steve Kerr gets as much disrespect as he does. To be honest with you.
No, you know what it is. Hold on. We haven't seen.
recently.
We haven't seen
double
Steve
mark.
Kerr.
Team USA and his
He
treatment
lost
of
to
young
Team
players.
USA.
I was gonna say what
His
happened.
team USA and how he's handled James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah,
Maybe not, but
That's fair. That team USA thing, that's real. That's real.
No, but
he
also,
deserved
but,
it.
but it seems like with Eric Spoelstra, we've seen what Eric Spoelstra does in ceiling raiser with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosch. We've seen what he does, and then we've also seen him take teams with lesser talent, take to the finals with Jimmy. We've seen guys like Davis and Max Strus get the best out of those guys. While with Steve Kerr, we've only seen him in this optimal situation. So once Steph retires and this kind of him, Clay, and Draymond leave, and he's still there for the next 5 years, see what he's able to do with those teams. Because right now, the year that Steph was gone, it wasn't looking so good. It was not looking so good.
Everybody.
Steve Kerr.
No, hold on, but like Greg Popovich, when his teams got hurt, he was still doing his thing, and they were still be able to win some games, even when his team got hurt.
Apart from when they tanked for Tim Duncan.
But that's why I prefer ceiling raising though, because like that's why I prefer ceiling raising because, dude, like my thing is Steve Kerr, he squeezed all the juice out of what the Warriors could be potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like they reached their maximum potential with Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I rather ceiling raising more than floor raising. But
and even then, when we talk about Phil Jackson as well, like you could probably make the same argument with the Bulls. But again, he was implementing things that wasn't his coaching system. It was
right. That's
no, and that's the thing. That's the thing, Dub. This is why I do disagree on like who you hire as an assistant coach. Just like they do the same thing for football. I apply to basketball. Who you hire as your assistant matters as a head coach too. Who you pulling that coaching staff with you matters to me as a head coach because
that's fine. That's fine. But when you're copy and pasting literally somebody else's philosophy and you haven't changed that at all.
No, but he hasn't. That's the thing. Like the Bulls before Phil Jackson, they were give Jordan the ball, get the fuck out the way.
No,
Phil was
he copied and pasted his assistant coach's philosophy, and he never changed that ever. Now defensively, I'm not going to trip about the defensively.
Yeah, I get defense.
But he even tried to implement that with the Knicks, a system that was never going to work. in this day and age.
Yeah, as a GM, he's trash. As a GM,
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna
bad.
nothing to feel.
That was
I'm not
bad.
No, he was a GM, but he was trying to put some coaching
Yeah,
philosophy.
he wanted them to play the triangle. It was
he's a one-trick
like,
pony,
yeah.
bro.
No,
He's
how
a
was
one-trick
Phil's
pony,
coaching?
bro.
How was Phil's coaching when Shaq left and Kobe had to do his thing for those couple years? How was his coaching then?
Well, he
He
actually
wasn't there all those years. He was there like
He
1 year.
actually,
Yeah, he was there, but
they
yeah,
had
he was
Rudy
there.
T, and then Rudy T left because he didn't want to.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Phil Jackson's coaching track record. Like I think he coached 19 years. I'm counting. He had one season where he didn't have either Michael Jordan or Kobe. He had one.
That's it.
That's crazy. So it's so hard to
I
judge
mean-
when you have 2 top 5 guys for that long. It's
No,
so
but
hard to
Jalen, that's
judge
what you do. That's what you do. Like we do it all the time on PC. Like what you do, you look at the adjustments, you look at the schemes, and you look at most importantly, what is this coach doing to optimize my best players? How many months has Mars been calling Budenholzer a fucking fraud, despite the fact that the Bucks won? Is what he did in games. Lack of adjustments, lack of optimizing his best player.
I get
So,
what you're
and
saying.
like I said, you can give Jalen, you can give,
but
you
Sturdy,
could
that's
also-
a bad
you
comp
could-
because that Giannis, Giannis being that offensively flawed in the half court, like I don't even know what is the bad position to put Michael Jordan in.
Exactly.
I don't even know,
exactly.
No, what you do, I'm about to answer your question real talk. You do what Doug Collins did. Just be a glazer and be like, here, Jordan, give Jordan the ball. Everybody else get the fuck out the way.
They took the Pistons to Game 7 and Scottie Pippen didn't play.
No, that was
No. They didn't take the game to Game 7. That was Phil Jackson. That was with Phil Jackson. That's the point.
Okay.
That's the point. Like Isaiah Thomas.
Sorry.
No, real talk. Isaiah Thomas.
Finals with Doug Collins.
They did. But Isaiah Thomas said this himself. Like he said that was the biggest difference between Phil Jackson and Doug Collins. With Phil, it was getting a second and third option way more frequent. With Doug, it was just basically a fucking ISO game. And that would make it easier to defend
That's
Jordan.
not fair because they weren't ready yet. The guys around him wasn't necessarily ready yet. Like you talking about 91 Pippen versus.
No, I'm talking about schemes. I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about
Them
schemes.
sharing the ball more, having other guys, having Michael be less.
Yeah, but I'm still saying they were better players at the time, though. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Doug Collins in 89 and 90 they could have did it. Oh well, 89 they could have.
No, they couldn't because like you said, like I said, that heliocentric top of the ISO ball bullshit that Doug Collins trying to win, you rarely win. You rarely win in history in the NBA. It's easy to defend in the playoffs.
100%, no doubt.
But it's Michael Jordan though.
So what?
Even with Michael Jordan, nigga, don't matter. Great players lose to great teams.
I'm saying okay, but what bro is saying is that okay, if Michael and Scottie get better as they get older, even if they were playing like that, nigga, it's Michael Jordan.
They could have easily still went to the finals.
That don't mean shit.
But like we said, there's a difference between a good coach can win a championship with great players. A great coach creates dynasties. We spoke about that like half an hour ago.
Right.
Sure, Doug Collins could have won with the MJ, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant trio because of the greatness.
But is he winning 6?
But
Hell no, he's not winning
Is he
6.
three-peating twice?
That's
is
fair.
he
Fuck
winning
no.
3 in a row? That's where the questions come in. That's what the difference
Is
is.
Tex Winters on the sideline with him?
Hey, hold on. Last thing too. Hold on. Last thing too. When Greg Popovich traded Dennis Rodman because he wasn't getting along with him, what the fuck you think Phil Jackson did the first year he got him? He optimized him. He understood. Okay,
He's a Zen master. He's a Zen master.
Is that so? He said, okay, I understand. No, what coach you know will let a third best player go to WWF and WCW and wrestle and shit.
That's fine.
Like,
And I give him
nigga.
credit for that. I give him credit for that. But we talking about X's and O's and adjustments.
The biggest.
Which one is it? We talking about X's and O's, or we talking about talent? Like we keep going back and forth.
The biggest point you're missing. The biggest point you're missing
all
here
of it.
is what Trey Ball's trying to say is, even though you're talking about these systems and like the X's and O's and the systems, what the thing you're not accounting for is maybe the greatness of Kobe, MJ, Shaq. That they are so great that was able to hide some of the flaws within that offense that Phil Jackson was having. So even though you're talking about him doing this with multiple guys, he's surrounded by top 5, top 10 talent. That let's say we didn't even know if it was really that flawed or not because those guys were so transcendent themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Kind of, but that's the thing, Dub. I seen that same system. I seen that same system working.
Players can hide a coach's flaws the same way a coach can hide.
Exactly, and in
Fact.
this
That's a fact.
scenario,
That's a fact.
in terms of
That's a
Steve
fact.
Kerr, you brought up 2022 and how Steph and Steve Kerr were really doing their shit and making up the team's flaws. That's something that, if we're gonna be honest, Phil Jackson has never done.
Well, we agree to disagree, Dub. Go watch that first Lakers title with Shaq and Kobe. He did plenty of that. Go watch that 2009 and 2010 run. He did plenty of that. Go watch that 98 run, especially with the Bulls. He did plenty of that. He did plenty of that.
Don't make me.
No. When Pippen and Rodman was injury prone and was done, Phil Jackson made multiple adjustments to help that team get over the hump.
And what was Michael Jordan doing?
Michael Jordan being Michael Jordan, but just like any no, I didn't say he was, but just like any great player, you need help, and not just from the other players, but also from the coaches too.
So Ace 30, let me ask you this. Just very simple. Steve Kerr or Phil Jackson, who was better, like right time, right place? Who would you say that applies to more? See, I just disagree. Like, we just disagree fundamentally. Like, I don't think a lot of guys could have just came in and turned the Warriors into what he turned them into.
And that's not what I'm saying either. But you just asked me between the two, who's more right place, right time. I think it was Steve Kerr. Remember, Phil Jackson was assistant on the Bulls for a few years before he got head coach.
Coaching the GOAT.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
What are you saying right now?
He was an assistant coach, and then he lucked into the general manager after the coach went to.
He didn't luck into the general manager.
Let me finish my point. He lucked in that the general manager made a decision after they made the Eastern Conference Finals to fire that said head coach and promote the assistant, while the Golden State Warriors was actively looking for a head coaching job, and Steve Kerr just filled in the slot for them.
He did become the coach of a team that was just in the conference finals.
But that was a part of it. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. How does Phil Jackson don't get credit for helping them get to the Eastern Conference Finals as an assistant?
Now we praising assistant coaches. You praising assistant coaches?
Yes, Jalen. What are you talking about? Yes, assistant coaches get. Hold on. That's what these niggas been doing with Tex Winners this whole fucking time. What are you talking about?
I get assistant coaches matter, but
implementing a system is different.
Hold on. 2 streams ago, hold on, real quick. 2 streams ago, Mars literally said Doc Rivers is a Tibbs merchant because the Celtics want an Owe as a defense, and who's their defensive coordinator? Jalen Tibbs.
I agreed, but yeah.
Okay, so
like what the fuck?
But those are certain, bro. Not every coach. Wait, hold on. Not every coach just delegates a whole side of a ball to an assistant. That's not normal.
Honestly, a lot of coaches do. A lot of coaches do.
This is not football.
A lot of coaches do.
They get their
the team's running a heliocentric style of offense. Tex Winners becomes the assistant to Phil Jackson, and they have the triangle.
Yeah, but that's thing. Though, Phil Jackson was the defensive assistant. But go ahead, bro.
So age 30 in the 90s without Phil Jackson, do you think the Bulls maybe they don't win 6, but you think they still win multiple, right? Like 3 plus.
Throughout that whole decade?
Yeah, without Phil.
Depending on the coach, they probably get like 2 or 3.
Now with Steve Kerr and the Warriors when he came in 2014, right? Do you think they 14. Still win, let's say, more than 2?
2015.
Yeah, so let's say they win more than 2. Do they? With Steve Kerr, like without Steve Kerr? I don't
without
think so.
Steve Kerr? Yeah, depending on the coach, yeah.
Nah, because I don't think no coach would have implemented the system that Steve Kerr did. Like no coach. And you can
let's do what y'all just did. If you have a team like the 2017 Warriors, 2018 Warriors with KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, yes, any adequate coach you can put there, they'll still win.
But then you gotta think about it. KD has said many times the reason he joined Golden State is because of the brand of basketball they play. That's because of Steve Kerr. If Steve Kerr's not there, they don't play that brand of basketball. He doesn't join them, so then there's no super.
So it's hard for me to go with the KD. Yes, I'm not really talking about the KD ones because it's kind of hard for me to go there. Like shit had to transpire for that to happen.
Like a lot of shit. The beautiful brand of basketball that attracted KD to
correct.
The main, DeAndre Mars, the main thing is the fact that Steph Curry wasn't really healthy early in his career. That's the reason why he couldn't afford to get KD. That's the main
1,000% because you got that 44 million.
Yeah,
it's been a bad episode for Sturdy.
Yep.
L's in the chat for Sturdy, man.
Look at y'all, the bad episode. Hey man, Hey man, if Cookie House was a bad episode, then shit, what a good episode gonna look like?
Real hoop talk
I
today.
don't know.
Damn. All right, pinch ship. If JT fails to win with that level of help again, who's the next U.S. hope? Ant seems to have what JT doesn't. X Factor and Dog. Ironic, as JT is a Kobe stan.
I really hate that narrative.
I don't get the
I hate that
Anthony
narrative.
Edwards infatuation.
Damn, we're not arguing with niggas this year. We're not arguing. We move.
I just don't.
I'm a
I
real
don't
top
get
here,
why
man.
does everyone act like Anthony Edwards has already shown that like he's a top 15?
Yeah, they act like he's
They
already
ain't,
won.
bro,
Like,
they look at the potential Ant-Man.
First round playoffs.
You look at
He's
the
just a
potential
new,
Ant-Man.
you know.
No, but people are acting like
just
he's
look at the
already
man, man.
there. Like that's the like I believe the potential is there, but he's not close to it yet.
Like Mars, you don't think he's a top 15 player, right?
No.
No.
Thank God.
Hell.
Thank God. I've heard
Hell.
some shit.
Hell.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people are very premature with what's going on, and then when he doesn't meet the expectations that you
What'd you
wrongfully
say?
put on him, they're gonna start hating.
What did you just say?
Premature.
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 Is it
Premature?
Yeah,
He's a premature with the accent.
Premature. Okay.
Yeah,
My bad.
same thing.
I
And I like Ant. Of course, I like Ant.
Yeah, it's just
English
weird.
diss,
Like
bro.
everyone's doing, and then when he inevitably doesn't meet the wrong expectations that's been put on him, people are gonna start hating and act like he was never good. It's just
crazy.
this things keeps happening all the time, and
People just don't like players. People don't let players develop. They just elevate them like before they can actually do it. I kind of hate that.
Dev.
Because
Exactly.
like
That's the
Jason
problem.
Tatum-
Everyone wants everything to happen instantaneously. Like there's a growing process, and he's
Right.
going through it.
ESPN
He's not
has the
gonna win right away.
Timberwolves to be ranked number 3, right? In the third seed.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, they got
West.
him third seed.
And let's say they
Yeah.
get in the play, and nobody's gonna blame that on Ant. Like,
Didn't we
think-
just
I
have
think
a
they-
panel
they have a
episode where we
They
talked
have
about
a
the
nice
next
squad
generation?
over there, though. So
Yeah, they
think
gonna
about
make
it.
playoffs.
They have a
I
nice
do
squad
expect
over
them.
there.
I do expect them to be better than last year, but third in the West, that's gonna be tough. in my
that's
That's
opinion.
steep.
crazy.
I just need you guys
That's
to pay
deep.
attention to the Jaden McDaniels now. Jump. That's what you.
No,
guys need to pay
I
attention to.
I
started
like
preseason.
Jay
He was
McDaniels.
hitting
I
his
like Jay
shots,
McDaniels.
get into the rim.
Hey man, 16 points a game. I guarantee it.
D-boy candidate potentially.
I'm guessing saying your ring matter to the players you're compared to. Your ring matters to the players you're compared to. Shaq to TD.
Tim Duncan.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Tim Duncan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kobe to MJ. Rodman rings matter to Draymond. Steph matter to Magic. CP3. Bron to MJ and KD.
KD.
Valid.
I mean, if KD has 6 rings, how are we
Not all
talking
rings
about
are created equal.
Kobe would
Right.
still be
If
better.
he wins all
I
of them
think
on
I think
Golden State,
every ring is worth the same amount. One ring. I
And the
1000%.
team you play on, how you get there, I think definitely we weigh different.
Yeah,
And
that's
guess what? No
2021
matter
level.
how good or bad your team is, guess how
I
many
do have a
rings you got at
question
the
for
end?
y'all.
One.
If between Russell Westbrook and Al Iverson, if one of them had a ring, which one you think
AI
would elevate them more?
Westbrook.
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 You said it would be ranked
Because
higher?
If AI beats the
Put a
01
high- high
Lakers,
line.
he's over Dwayne Wade.
Yes. If AI beats Kobe and Shaq, that's crazy.
Because Russell Westbrook's ring would be the 2012 Thunder.
Well, no,
AI's clearly-
because if Russ,
Let's say 2016. Let's say they didn't.
no,
It's
no.
still AI.
If Russ has
The
PG,
Heatles.
if Russ has PG and Melo, and they actually work the way people thought they were, and they beat the Golden State Warriors crew,
That's crazy,
I
Dub.
thought it was
That's
more
crazy.
that they were actually close to.
I'm not gonna lie, Dub. That's
You brought up
wild.
the year
That's
he was
wild.
actually- so they were,
I was
he
just doing
in the
2012
finals
versus
in what,
01. That's why I said
2011
AI.
or 2012?
Oh
That's the only year that they were both in the finals.
Nah, I'm going
No,
off
but
the peak.
I
of
can't be
what we
putting a
thought they
first
were.
round exit and saying, imagine they won. Like,
How about
Just
let-
imagine, though.
let-
Just imagine, though.
no,
What
I
about-
think he's going with. He's going with the teams that Westbrook was the best player. That's what I think Dub's doing. Not 2012, because 2012 was the second best player.
oh
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
How about
If Russell Westbrook won a ring in 2017 by himself as the MVP,
Bro,
that's actually crazy.
Legendary.
Russell Westbrook 40 years from now will be seen in a lot better light by players. They're going to see the numbers. They're going to what? They're going to go to the box score. They're going to see the triple doubles.
They're going to be
counting
like you.
stats,
They're going to be
points,
like
rebounds.
you.
Stats matter. And
yeah,
he's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
have
held
to
to a high
start
regard.
hearing about how
He's held to a high
Russell
regard.
Westbrook peaked higher than some players.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah,
biased.
we're gonna hear that.
Because
I'm
he
biased.
averaged 28,
I hate
12, and
Russell
whatever the
Westbrook.
fuck.
Yeah, 100%. His numbers, his counting stats.
I mean,
look like-
Hey man, if you look at the numbers, Russell Westbrook peaks higher than Steph Curry for real. Like. Both putting up
No,
30 points a
that's
game.
foul.
One's
That's
putting up
foul.
10 rebounds, one's putting up 6, one's putting up
Facts.
11 assists, one putting up 6.
Facts. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Only thing
that's
Steph
foul.
Curry really does better is shoot. Steph Curry's better
here
from
for
better
it.
on the line, but that's really it.
I'm here for
If you
it.
just look at it.
I hate Kerr. I hate Russ's game, so I can't even speak on it.
Just
Respect
based on
my
the
favorite
numbers. If you
I'm
take
sorry,
if you
bro.
take the winning out
I'm
of it
sorry,
because
bro.
Steph had a super team,
I'm not gonna lie.
peak time.
I really don't get how people can hate his game. I think he's a funny game to watch. He's very athletic, can get to the rim. Like
I hate everything about it. Like I hate
I'm
everything
saying
about
watching
it.
basketball. Like,
Are you a Lakers fan?
I loved Russ's game when he had that little
Russell
elbow
Westbrook
jump.
is
When Russ had that
No, I'm
elbow
not a
jump
Lakers
shot,
fan
I
at
loved
all.
watching Russ play. When
Yeah,
that jump
I'm not gonna
shot
lie.
really disappeared, I'm not gonna lie.
oh yeah, once it disappeared, I'll give you that. But I just think he's a
Wait, you ain't like you ain't like Houston Russ Mars? Well, he couldn't shoot for shit, but he
Houston
still
Russ
go.
was so fun, bro.
Nah,
Oh my goodness.
Houston Russ.
I don't really like athletic point guards, to be honest. I'm into like
all the
skills.
etiquette letters.
You missing out on the fun of watching Kevin Johnson, man.
I asked
Damn, you don't like Penny Hardaway?
I asked them about exceptions.
Penny, sure. I'm kind of biased.
Derrick
to the
Rose
90s,
was
though, so
extremely
Penny,
fun to
sure.
watch. Like watching highlights because I never watched.
No, he might be one of the only athletic point guards I like. Him, Penny, you could say KJ, but these newer guys, like that's why I'm not really high on Scoot. Ja's great, but I'm not high on Ja. I'll take Trae Young over Ja just because of that.
Thank you.
You just know ball if you take Trae Young.
I just don't like athletic point guards. Like playing basketball my whole life, I hated them. Like I just rather a skill. I rather a skill.
What position did you play? What position did you play?
I'm 5'9", Mars.
Oh, so you just wish you could be that player.
I'm 5'9".
It's jealousy.
Remember when Derrick Rose? Remember when Derrick Rose went against Isaiah Thomas? That's what it looked like.
I feel what he's
yeah. I just don't like him because like I feel like it's like an overcompensating thing. Like all the shit that Russ does, all the time he put into becoming a great dunker and all this other shit, he could have put into having a crazy in between game. That's why Trae Young scores 30 points on floaters because it's like all you need is that in between game and your handle.
I still have an elbow jumper at one point.
Hey, Mars, can I ask you a question?
He did.
Like
he did.
between 2012 and 2016, was Russ an average shooter from mid range?
Yeah, he was.
Sure.
What was the league true shooting and stuff?
On volume, just based on volume, I'd probably say he was average. But like numbers wise, he probably was slightly below average. He's probably around 40%. Average probably around like 42, 43. So numbers wise, he's probably below average, but based on volume, I'd probably say he was an average mid range shooter. I don't think teams were. Maybe they were living, but I don't think teams are just happy to concede.
Well, I was specifically top level.
That elbow shot he had, that shit was money.
Hey,
it felt automatic. It felt automatic. Every time he pulled up from that elbow range. Yeah.
Fellas, listen, man. We just concluding this episode, bro. Open Field's on next. Like the video, subscribe, man. And y'all be easy, bro.
The Lamar Jackson disrespect must end.
Oh, yeah, I saw the video. Lamar Jackson is just a running back. That just felt racist.
You got to defend his honor. Defend his